Let me do the intro!
This is so scuffed.
I mean, have you seen our commentary lately?
Fuck it! Well, we've already got into politics, and even got a MySpace before the show started. Today's gonna be great!
Wow.
Oh, just wait until we get to the main topic of today.
We're also
in
gonna
this
wait for
party is gonna hit
Sig
me.
to do that, because he's gonna be like a half an hour late. He's doing something.
I know, but I'm just saying my opinion's gonna be like hated amongst everyone.
Oh, 100%.
I don't usually hate opinions. Like,
Oh no, okay. So wait, we're still doing the.
Don't get into it yet.
I know, but are we still doing the thing that you talked about,
Yes.
Pharaoh?
Yes.
Okay, so does Yiggs know about how I love most of the most hated?
Oh my god, I don't know.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. You like things that most people hate.
I said we were doing it. So
Okay.
Okay. Saying what we're gonna do isn't a
I'll just
problem.
text it. Okay.
Saying what we're gonna do isn't a problem. We are planning on doing everybody's top 5 least favorite maps, and BMG does like
I love Horizon.
Of the community's least
I
favorite.
love Horizon. I love Paris. I love a lot of the hated maps. So my list is gonna be completely different.
Side. I like
Okay.
a lot of maps people hate. I mean, the thing about me in politics, yes, you can always guess what I'm going to yell about. In other things, my opinions are just always very strange, and they are all hills I'm going to die on.
I mean, I've watched every podcast so far, so I've heard your strange opinions. Yes.
Oh, my opinions are so weird. But I want to also, I preface them, whether it was on air or not. I just like debating. So if I'm pissing you off or like I'm hurting your feelings, please let me know, because I frequently I have no emotions attached to any of this. Like I'm not gonna get personally offended in politics like a lot of other people do, and I frequently miss when the other person is really upset with me. So please let me know, and I'll back off, because I don't hate you or anything. I'm just really into discussing this opinion. And hell, I'll play devil's advocate. I'll discuss your opinion for you.
I mean, Farrell and Poggy already know my number one, so
yeah,
they've heard a lot about it.
You
I've got a
underestimate
question.
how bad my memory is.
Yiggs, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So, I feel like you and me are both the two that love debating the most of this group. Would you be down to doing like a little debate in the podcast? Like, we each pick a topic, we have to both pick a side and literally just do a debate.
No, we should ask for, we should do a poll that's like, what topic do you want to see Yiggs and Ferg fight on?
Yes, yes.
We gotta get a name, like, head to head.
Please do this, because that would be so much fun. I love debating. I just think it's so much fun.
I love that. Same.
It should be me and BMG doing the debate. It'll be the world's most quietest debate ever.
No, you don't understand. I'm actually pretty loud when it comes to debating.
Yeah, honestly though,
you got the
I've almost never debated.
Honestly,
I'm one of those people where if you don't like my opinion, I tell you why you're wrong, and then tell you that I'm right. And then you tell me I'm wrong, and I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. My opinion's always right.
fuck you.
Yeah, that's basically how debates go. It's just a backwards, back and forth. Fuck you, I'm right. No, fuck you, I'm right.
Mine are more like, I'm like, let me tell you how it is, and I can back all of these up with sources that I'll be glad to show to you. Now, here's how it is from my perspective. And then you say you or refute or whatever, and I'll be like, okay, well, here's what mine says. Here's where my source is saying this right here. Where's your source saying the same thing? It's that. And I'll be like, wait a minute, you're missing your point. It's like that.
See, my favorite thing is when people are like, I use Wikipedia as my source. I'm like, good for you. And I use a rock.
Yeah, would you be down to do that?
Yeah, I would definitely be down to do that. I should just wait to say this on the podcast. I have been fighting a really bad infection. And when I have those infections, it is like, I know most people are like, oh, a kidney infection. Who the fuck cares? Or a UTI. Like, who cares, man? That kind of stuff will land me in the hospital watching for sepsis. So I have been just, like, completely on hiatus for the past, I don't even know how long it's been because I wasn't super coherent.
That's like a
Well, okay, so I have a problem. I'm a hypochondriac.
But
What
you
is that?
you don't have what I have.
Well, no, here's the thing. I have, like, really bad leg pains quite often because I have a bus accident in 6th grade. And with me having problems breathing and whatnot, and me being a Twitch streamer, I always have that worry, oh, this could be a blood clot in my leg. And yeah, I start freaking out. It gets bad.
Okay, how old are you?
Old enough,
I'm
young
called
enough.
fake doctor for a reason. I was gonna go to medical school, but it didn't.
Yeah, so was I. And then I protected kids and got in trouble and expelled for it, so.
Oh,
I got sick. But also I wanted to be an artist. So now I'm an
Same.
artist.
Huh.
Kinda weird.
I'm looking to become a doctor, but in an entirely different field.
Huh. I feel like I've gained a new friend in Yigs.
Yes!
Mainly because I already got a friend request, but that's besides the
I
point.
do. I have like 9,000 people on the PS4. I'm friend requested like the entire Overwatch
OLOC.
community. All of it.
I literally have to go
Except
through and purge my friends list like once a week.
You see, I don't even
It's
bother.
like-
I don't even
I
bother
hate
doing
that.
it.
It's like, oh, I haven't talked to you in like a month. Purged.
Bye.
You
Mine
see,
is just-
I have people from like 2016 that are still on my friend list that I haven't
Yeah,
even
well,
talked to.
I had this account. Oh, fucking Elo Earth just no. Okay, I'm leaving game.
Elo
No,
Earth.
no,
No.
no.
At Elo Earth and
No,
OLOC.
he just joined my custom game because I had it up for a Widow 1v1. Well, no, me and Elo have been 1v1ing quite a bit because he's surprised that I'm a silver player that can actually kill him when we're 1v1ing.
Because the ladder is bullshit.
Okay. So, wait, are these the maps we like or the maps we hate?
The ladder
the
is
hate, the
hate.
hate.
Yes. That's my
Oh,
favorite.
okay.
Wait, Pharaoh, is this week's rotation same as last week's for map pool?
I believe so.
Oh god, that means I have to see
Have
my
we had-
hated map again.
Did we have was last week's map we already played twice?
I don't think so.
I'll have to double check it, because if last week was the first week of this map set, then yeah, it's the same for this week.
Oh god.
It's fine, but going back to the debate idea, I might get controversial here. So, if it were up to me, though, to pick
We're
a
always so
topic,
controversial.
oh shit. Okay, one of my favorite topics to debate, which I actually do like in real life, like I've started becoming, is I debate against religion. I am an
I like doing
atheist,
that.
and I
That's
debate
fun.
religion and Christianity, like, actively.
See, I know a lot about religion, I just hate debating it. Because it
I
always
debate
gets
religion,
really
either
salty
side,
really
pretty
quickly.
well.
I just, yeah, I don't want to get into it right now. Unless you want to hear me
Yeah.
rant for...
I mean, we have to wait for...
We gotta wait for cutover. But, so, let's figure out what topic we're gonna talk about today.
I like how no introductions were done this time because all of us kept
Because you
interrupting
guys
the
just
intro.
fucking talk, so can I do the intro now?
I mean, what do you guys think? Should we let him?
No.
You can't see me, but my head is in my hands, like, on the table right now.
I'm just waiting to hear boom, table crack. Well, fuck.
I can do it for you.
Oh, sometimes this podcast makes me so happy. Other times it makes me tear my fucking hair out.
So on completely unorthodox news, you know, that's not how you speak. Okay, well, I unlocked the last common in the game today.
God.
Figured I'd talk about this.
Wow.
Just why not?
Ooh, which one?
Well, I mean, besides golden guns, but no, I have all the normal commons in game now. So every single loot box is
Yeah,
just
it's
duplicates on
pretty good.
duplicates.
What was the last common that
I
it
think mine
needed?
is too. Everything but the gold ones.
Okay, so you know how I'm a Reaper main.
Uh-huh.
I was missing one of his sprays.
What the fuck?
Shame. That's another Reaper man. I look down upon you.
I mean, I saw it say 74 out of 75, and I'm like, oh, I'm missing his golden guns. Then I get in game, and I'm like, I'm a fucking retard. I have his golden gun.
And it's actually like that for, I can't remember which character it is, but I have like, no, oh my god, I just remembered. It's fucking Zenyatta. I have everything except for Rapid.
Oh, fuck that. No, I'm done. I'm never getting Rapid. See, they made Reaper so annoying to get his pixel. The, Want Not, Waste Not.
Oh, that took a while.
Get 3 kills in 1 meg.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Because it used to be easy.
Somehow.
Reaper used to be super easy for his pixel.
Somehow.
Because you could use Wraith form to reload and your ult to reload. They made it where those reloads cancel it out, so you have to get 3 kills without any abilities or reloading.
I got the original big res from Mercy's, like, massive res. I don't know if it's hard to get after that, but...
I don't know.
Oh no, it is.
What
It is
the-
very hard.
I don't even know what hers is now.
So what it is now is you have to get 6 resurrects in 1 life.
That's...
Think
Think
That's
of how
totally
people
dependent
play,
on, like-
though, when they're against a
Yeah.
Mercy.
Let alone 20 seconds in between reses.
That depends on your team a whole lot. Like, that's
yeah,
a lot
the
of
team
chance
and enemy
rather
team,
than...
it's random, yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot harder to get her cute spray now than it was.
Definitely.
They never changed Lucio's. Where did everybody get their Lucio spray?
I got it
don't
during
have
a
mine
Diva
yet.
It's
Dom.
on, what's
Everybody-
that one team that
Helios?
No, Legion
Oh, you're
Tower.
talking about Flora's
it-
Lava. Oh, I still don't have that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Flora's Lava on
Yeah.
Xbox I got on King's Row.
Xbox nerd.
What?
That's a strange place to get it. I'm
That's
impressed.
a really weird place to get it.
I got mine on Legion Tower.
I mean, I've literally, when it comes to Xbox, I've gotten every single one of my sprays on King's Row.
Right, Flora's Lava is get 3 kills in 1 life while wall riding.
Yeah,
I
without
got
touching
that
the
one
ground.
on Nepal for some reason.
Nepal's, I can see that.
That's where I got my Roadhog.
No. Here's the thing. It wasn't
What?
on the boot map.
What?
Which map was it?
Was this village?
The village map.
I
Yeah,
could see
the
that.
village
It'd probably be like a
yeah.
fight on the point, but
But yeah, when I got Lucio's
I
the
don't
Flora's
know.
Lava, it was at the very end of King's Row. And I just
where the holes
waited.
are.
Yeah, I waited for
okay.
their entire team to come out of spawn and got
Oh, the
6k
one big
into the
boop.
hole. Yeah,
Nice.
it was just all 6 in the hole, and I'm like,
Isn't
yes.
that the best?
It's like, I remember when me and Yix used to comp and like our entire enemy team left except for one player. We used to give them.
I'd be
Holes
like,
left.
yeah, I'd text him and be like, do you want Lucio's achievement? And we'd all, like, our team,
Yo.
if I could get them to fucking communicate, would all go to the edge and let the other guy get as many, like, different
achievements as possible.
achievements as possible.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
one of
I-
those people.
I was playing on Xbox this morning because I just haven't felt like playing competitively, so I go on Xbox when I don't. And I just randomly win as Ana.
I've been doing so badly as far as, like, illnesses go. I have not.
Bruh. So, I've been playing this season. I went from low silver up to gold. And then Beachy here starts coming at me, being mad, because I kept trying to get
Funny.
Beachy...
It's season 19! We were off season 19!
Beachy kept giving me excuses not to sign me a Voltage after he said he would. Because I was on his academy team for Blackwatch Tower. And he's like, oh, well, you're not 2,000 yet. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Get to 2,100 the next day. I'm like, there, I'm 2,000. He's like, oh, well, we already have 2 GMs on the team, so you probably won't get no playtime. I'm like, that's fine. I'll be the bench warmer.
So,
And he's
I
like,
don't know
what's
if
the-
it matters, but we have, I think, at least 2 scrim teams right now, and like 2 more are coming in, or they're being made. Do you know, fucking Godspeed, VV Godspeed?
Yeah. Me
Yeah, I
and
know
him were
Godspeed.
talking.
Go
Yeah.
talk to him about being his co-captain. He just got the formal permission from me today. He was like, "Can I make a team?" And I was like, "Yes. Come back to me when you have 6 to 8 players, and we'll talk about putting you in."
Do you want to hear how I got Beachy to sign me a Voltage?
Oh,
Farrell
oh,
can
you're
tell
on
you how
Voltage
I.
now. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I thought
Farrell
you
can
made
tell you
me
how I
feel
got.
like no.
No.
Okay.
No, Farrell can tell you how I got him to do it.
Oh, tell.
So I messaged Farrell because Beachy was like, "Oh yeah, we might not play Krusty this week because of stipulations. And then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go talk to Farrell and see if he'll sign me to Krusty.
Yeah.
And so
because I got that message.
I sent Farrell the message and then screenshot. I'm like, if he says yes, I'm joining Krusty. Beach is like, I love you too much to let you do that. And right after that, he went and signed me to.
You want to know something sad though, BMG? Is when I got that message, I like sat there for a minute. I was like, do I?
I was kind of hoping you would. That's the sad part.
Like I stared at it for a good 5 minutes, like.
Well, you know, I mean, if you're $2 per game offer still on the table. I saw that podcast. I know about the $2.
God damn it. Nobody else at Krusty knows.
The DMs are open if you want to talk a deal.
No, my DMs are always open, so
Oh my god, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if I interrupted because I was looking at my phone.
We're just roasting
I promise
Beachy.
y'all are interesting. I can't multitask. Oh, there's our lad. I was like, one time we should all play Cards Against Humanity for like everybody to watch because that shit's really
definitely.
funny. We did that last night for fucking dying.
Honestly, I'd be down to do like a mini stream of that tonight.
Cards Against Humanity is like one of the best games ever made.
It is. I've got this shitty free version that we play. You can play it on your phone, or you can put it on the PSN. Like, I'm not paying for it. Okay, I'm fucking no.
You pay for it. It's free.
Well, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We found 2 versions to do it for free. I guess we'll do the same one we did last night with Arrow. That was really good. We got some really good ones too.
For first time playing it, I loved it. Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
We're
talking about possibly doing Cards Against Humanity as a mini stream tonight.
What do you use? Because
I could probably.
What do you use? Because do you use the YGX, whatever that's called online?
Yes,
that's the best
because
version.
I don't want to pay money for shit.
Don't pay money for
that.
that. The best thing about the YG version is you can create your own deck. So you could have like the best thing is just like putting like a bunch of memes and stuff in there, like that, like.
We could put all of our names and all of the Overwatch characters. Or
do you want to know what I think you guys should do? There's a game on PlayStation called Quiplash.
Oh, I know.
All right. Hang on about that. The Jackbox games. My crew is going through the motions of like each one of us are gonna get like one, so we have all of them.
I have them
That's
all.
a good idea.
And I love them.
Okay.
Yes.
Is the rapping one on PlayStation? Because I would dig that.
one?
I don't know.
Yo, because
I love the rapping one.
if we don't do
you know
Cards
what it
Against
is.
Humanity, we could do Quiplash because I do have that.
Okay, well, one of those. The thing about Cards Against Humanity, technically, yes, we could do it today, but I think it would be more fun if we sat around, like maybe this weekend, a couple of us, or I asked the OLOC community and put in, make a custom deck that has like all of the Overwatch characters, or like Moira's Shame Ball, or a Roadhog, or things like that.
Or even like teams, might want to put their team name in there, or they
Exactly.
might want to put like players in there.
I'll make an announcement about that later.
Yes, please. Are you talking? Wait a minute! What was that accent?
Oh, it's posh as hell! Yo! I'll do that later.
Oh god, that's not gonna happen tonight, hopefully. My accent doesn't come out.
No, that was the best way.
Yeah, well,
Later.
we'll keep talking, because I'm doing something around 8, so it probably wouldn't be until late tonight anyway, but...
Yeah, we could test it. It's okay, so I've got a little crew that like hangs out every night. Anybody here is welcome to join, just text me. It's like me,
please.
Grave, my wife,
Your wife.
my wife, whom I lobe very much.
I'm always looking just to have a laugh at night. That's the best thing you can do at night. Is just have a laugh and go to sleep.
I
We
think
have a party that at the very least has 4 people in it every single night from about 7 until about 12 or 1 a.m. So feel free to drop by, just say something.
chill.
It's me, Grave, Chubby, who else is in it? My wife,
Arrow.
Arrow sucks, Chaotic, Phoenix, or Dark.
If we do
And then
do
anyone
this,
who wants to drop by. Yeah,
if we do this, if we do it
Yig's
tonight,
Mate
and
Squad is what it's called.
If we do this tonight, though, I think it'd be a better idea to do probably like Quiplash or something like that, just because I already have it on the PlayStation and it'd be easier
that
for
or
stream purposes.
And because I want to do the custom cards, but I kind of want the community to take point in that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so if we do
hold
that
off on
tonight,
Cards Against Humanity. We can do
Yeah.
Quiplash. Draw free is the thing that I
Fuck, I
think
can't
I
draw.
laughed so hard I cried.
I love drawing.
Okay,
It's amazing.
the art
also another one
is
we
so
can put-
bad. Like,
Yeah.
being bad is part of the fun. Actual good art, like, okay, I'm not gonna. Okay, this sounds really arrogant.
Do you know what's
I'm an
better?
artist by profession. And my good art on there is the funniest looking shit because it's just like clearly I'm trying with advanced technologies, but the phone is not handling it. And so you just get some of the weirdest things.
You're
And
too
it's
good
so
If you
for
want to
the
do
phone.
it
Yeah,
all
and then you
online,
have someone like me trying to be fancy with it, having my stylus on my phone and everything.
Yeah, but like,
I don't have a
stick
stylus. I just
figure
have like a
correctly.
really shaky thumb, and it's really good.
Well, see, I have
That's nice.
I have the lovely LG Stylo 5, so
Okay.
I have a built-in stylus.
Do any of you have draw free too? Because I'm gonna buy
No,
it right
but-
now. I got
well,
it.
I have Jackboxes 1 through 3, so
Okay.
I have like
excellent.
the,
If you
the
want-
collections. So
you
Yeah.
know the drawing thing. If you want a good one that's online, do Scribble.io. You
Yeah,
can put
but we want
your
this
own
one.
ones in them.
The way this works, it's by the same people that do Jackbox, and like myself and my friends are scattered all over the world, and so this it's easier because I know Scribble, but like it's not like the same format. Anyway, I just got paid, and we were all like gonna get one, and I know I was gonna go ahead and get this because I think it's really fucking
Oh,
funny.
fair enough.
I think the best game for Jackbox is the T-shirt KO and Quiplash.
Yeah, like we were looking at getting like 4, 5, and 6, and then those 3 I know were kind of claimed. So if you want to combine your lobby with ours, then we've got enough.
If the
Yeah,
rapping
yeah.
one's available, I would so be down for that. I love the rapping one.
oh
I know that
god,
they're on. If you want any of the Jackbox games right now, they are on sale,
Mhm.
like big time.
Well,
Oh,
well,
I'll have to
time to
some.
go. Yeah, time to go spend my last PayPal check. From PayPal.
I feel that. Yeah.
Well, now that we have Sig here, I think we can start getting into the plans today.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
I kept trying to ask a question when we didn't have a thing, and then we brought up Jackbox. I was going to ask how you guys
Sorry.
feel about the 132.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
oh,
but
that's
no,
trash.
we would save that. No, don't answer that. Nope. No.
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Because I played it.
I
I have opinions. Okay.
have a
But
lot
I'm
of
not telling
opinions,
you.
but let's do our lists first.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
going
do
last.
that. And then, well, I gotta say this to everybody. So, but I wanted to say again, just remember, if we're debating, I don't hate you or think any less of you for any point that you make.
Unless
I
you're
don't
an
work like
anti-vaxxer.
that. Yeah,
If we're,
well, okay.
if we're debating,
If you're
just
an
know I
anti-vaxxer,
hate you. I
you
hate
eat my
everything you
fucking
say.
ass. Or if you try to sell, an MLM, you can also eat my fucking ass as I'm kicking you out the door.
The accent.
No, it comes out when I'm so tired and I've been
What the fuck
ill.
going on?
And it's let me fake my American accent. I don't want this to happen. All right.
You love
It's
this
so
too.
strong right now, and I love it.
Amazing.
When I'm like really tired and or passionate about it, it'll just come out. It's
That's
just
fair.
it's kind of beautiful, probably.
Alright,
Doesn't
so,
make- get made
That's
fun of by
okay. I like it.
so who wants to kick off our list? I vote
I
Grave,
always
Mr.
go
Quiet
first. Someone
Boy.
else go. Someone else
I'm
go
going
first.
last. I'm going last.
I
I
don't know
always
why.
go first. Don't make me go first again, bitch.
My opinion is going to be terrible, so I'm going
Just
last.
go for it. Go for it, boss.
I would be okay to lead because
Robo
I feel like
Yigs, Pog.
are like,
Ooh, Robo Yigs.
these are bad, but others are gonna be like, how could you say that one? And then so I could do that. Or Grace should go.
Oh, mine are gonna get the community angry. Let's put
Even
it
know
that way.
what you said means.
I mean, I feel like the community is going to be angry at me because I don't share the same opinion as them.
To be honest, I feel like this list is actually going to be pretty, like, these lists are actually going to be pretty good because of the fact that, like, the community is so divided on so many different maps.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
I
like,
know that I
like
didn't
the entire
select-
community has like one hated map that everyone agrees
Yes,
on,
yes.
and I love it.
None of those are on mine. I have a lot of maps on here, at least 2 that people are like, that's my favorite map.
If you say Chestertown, I'm going to end you.
I mean, I have a lot of people's favorite map as my #1, so.
Okay, does anybody have conventional maps? We should put them first.
Fuck do you mean conventional?
What do you mean conventional?
Like, the ones
Like-
everyone hates, like Paris and Volskaya.
Yeah.
Are we not including them?
We're not allowed to include those?
No, you are
I
absolutely
think we
allowed
should
to
do that,
include this. What I was trying to get is to start off on a baseline of like, if you put this up on Reddit, Overwatch's Reddit, like 90% of the posters would agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I've got
I
those maps.
hate.
I've got a couple.
My #1 is one of those maps, but I hate it for a different reason than everyone else.
Okay, fair enough. Mine are not those. Those aren't even on mine. So.
By the way, are we going
Two
from our
of them
least
are
favorite
mine.
to our best favorite?
Alright, so
or
who's
from
gonna kick this off?
And I personally love
least favorite,
Paris.
Grieve.
least
the
to
ones you
best?
hate.
Or...
Least.
Yeah, the ones you
Oh.
want to kick in the face.
Okay.
The ones
make
you want
arrow
out of the
dodge.
game.
Okay, someone
Okay.
from we mildly hate, one we despise. Okay.
Do you want me to just go
order.
first? Because everyone's been a little bit.
if you want to.
Alright, you can go
I'm
first.
just
Mine are
confused
right
on what
here.
the
I'm
fuck
ready. I
is
can take
going
up
on.
whatever.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm saying up.
I'm
against-
about
Are we
to get-
online now? Have we been on air? We're not. Though.
Yes,
Yes,
we've
we're on
been
air.
on.
We're on air. This entire convo is on air.
Didn't you hear we made it where he couldn't do the intro? We just kept
I didn't do that at
over-speaking
all.
him.
Uh-oh.
We kept interrupting him.
Forfer.
Well, can I make a statement first as the God Empress of the OLOC community, which honestly I put that on there
Self-entitled
as my like title a long time ago, and no one has commented on it, and I'm kind of upset about that.
I
I
don't
thought
think I
somebody
saw
was
it.
gonna call me out over God Empress, but no. Anyway, I've been ill, so I got lots of messages. I got through some of them yesterday and the rest today. I have been kind of on hiatus. I had that on my Discord thing, the status. I was in the hospital fighting off a massive kidney infection, which are really hard for me. We don't want sepsis or anything like that, so I have to be very careful because I didn't want to lose a kidney. So it sort of has been like that. So sorry if you've been trying to contact me or do things with me, and I am just ignoring the fuck out of you. It's not because I don't love you. It's just that I actually love my kidneys more than you.
Oh my god!
Hey, you always put yourself first.
I kind of feel like that. I feel like I'm like, okay, that's all right. Yeah, that's fine. But I also feel personally attacked. You know.
I feel like that was kind of the point of that. Like, you weren't not supposed to be personally attacked, but it was also meant to be like, I still love you, just not as much as other things.
I'm not
My
more
humor
important
is
than
like
your
very
vital
dry,
organs.
kind of
What?
British, and incredibly sarcastic.
British. Yo, I'm hyped to the British, by the way. Yo, shout out to British.
Shout out to Britain, you know. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
Brexit
guys.
and that.
Yeah,
Floods
yeah.
and that. Yo, my house will be flooded tomorrow.
What are you
Hey.
eating?
I'm eating Britain. I've left.
What?
I've gone.
She's going to the motherland.
Alright, Sig, kick us off.
Okay, so I'm actually going to tell you this right now, yeah? And everyone's going to be mad at me, yeah? The hated maps that everyone hates, yeah? Are not on the list.
Same here. Okay. I want to see
And
views in my
that's-
lineup.
And I'm going to say this now, and it's not because I hate the maps, or they're not on there because I don't hate the maps as much as I hate these maps, actually. I actually prefer to play like Paris, Horizon, than these maps here. Okay, so everyone, you could be mad at me, but I don't care, okay? Because these maps are the worst in my opinion.
I love you now.
Mando.
Number 5. Okay, I feel like we get a lot of hate for this.
He's gonna slap
Havana.
some truth on us.
What's up? Oh no,
I can feel that.
Oh, that map.
Havana.
Oh, Havana.
It's the one that you start in the gas station, and then you got to push through
I can feel
the
that.
factory.
Yeah.
So Havana, as we've seen from Overwatch League, it is the most impossible map to defend, that you literally have to spawn camp at the start to literally get any value. Now, we saw a strategy come out, I can't remember what team, because I don't even care. But still, it was to the point where they had to spawn camp on Havana so they can get a second chance to fight. Now, a map that is designed to spawn camp, in my opinion, is the most pointless trash in the world. Get rid of it,
Not good
Blizzard.
level design. No.
Then we'll have our factory. It literally goes from the biggest open map, which means then Widows, Farahs and all that gets huge value, and then we immediately go inside to the point where, oh, I'm a Farah with my ult, but I can't do anything because I can't fly about because there's a fucking roof.
No,
Sorry,
every time I kill
French.
myself with my ult, every time, because there's 3 walls and they're 2 inches away from me no matter where I go.
Exactly. So now I'm a Farah who has to switch off to another DPS like a McCree, and then guess what? We're back in the open. So guess what? I switch back to Farah. I have no ult charge. But McCree can't do anything because McCree on that map gets bullied because guess what? There are so many flanks. There is so easily diveable positions that you might as well kiss McCree ults goodbye. And also, by the way, Blizzard, why have you designed a map that makes Mei and Sim literally godlike on every single bit? I will never know.
We know.
Okay. Number 4. Okay, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because I know quite a few people... I feel this is a level hate map. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it, but I despise it. And that's Volskaya Industries. Right?
It's
Pushing that first point is the biggest hell in my opinion. It is so clusterfuck. You have no clue what's going on. Your team pushes, they separate because of the truck, and then you got enemies left, you got enemies right. You got the thing on top, you got the thing top left, top right, bridge. Like you're like when you attack, you're like, where am I going? Like, where do I draw my attention? You're looking about. You're looking for targets. Who do I prioritize? Oh, wait, Anna's playing in the Mega Health Pack. I should dive Anna. But, oh, no, there's an Orisa there. Oh, no, there's a McCree on the top left high ground. Oh, no, there's a Bastion in the top right. Who do I focus? There is no focus on Volskaya Industries. The team gets broken down like hell. There is no target priority. Your team is not grouped up together. It is just an absolute slaughterhouse. Then we push on to the second point, where, in my opinion, what the hell's going on? Because Symmetra decimates, Torbjorn decimates, Mei decimates, Hammond decimates, Diva decimates, Reinhardt decimates. What the hell? It's so defender-sided. You tried to attack that, and then guess what? Hammer down. You're like, okay, guys, it's fine. We'll reset. We'll come out of the next fight. What happens then? A Gunda sphere. You're like, okay, guys, don't worry, they used that. We'll push in, we have our ults. What happens then? Oh, let's break it. Down. Oh, don't worry, guys, we'll reset. We'll reset, we'll go at it again. We've got 4 ults. We're gonna go back. Oh, hammer down! No way, dude! Who could have predicted? It's okay, we'll reset, we'll go back. And a Gunda sphere. And it's just the same cycle over and over again. And I'm done. Nobody likes it. Get that trash out of here.
Sick, you know what makes it worse? You've got a Zarya on your team, and you're finally making a good push. You pop that, you pop grab, and suddenly the enemy team uses trans.
Exactly!
And
And then you know what the worst thing is? Every single time, you always get this, no offense, right, to anyone who's a Widowmaker, I mean, always 14 at the exact same time. You always get that 14-year-old on your team goes in the game and goes, guys, hold choke, I'm going to flank on the left-hand side and I'm going to get an early pick. You're there like, yo, dude, where's the early pick? He's like, I'm still looking for it. Yo, dude, where's the early pick? We need to go. The guy's up there feeding, and he's like, guys, wait, I'm gonna get that early pick. Don't push me yet.
Bad will fuck, we're in a 5v6 now.
Like, what the hell? Like, what do I do? Like, Volskaya Industries is just trash. Number 3, okay? Now, number 3, in my opinion, I feel like it could be moved to number 4. Number 3, I feel like could have been easily exchanged. And I feel like, I know a lot of people like this map, but in my opinion, the map defending is completely off. And that's Oasis, right? When you capture the point, I feel like defending the objectives are so hard, right? I mean, it's to the point where the one with the jump pad, everyone goes up on the high ground, and you play and you wait for a target to everyone to jump on, right? We see that rinse and repeat every single time by Overwatch League. As soon as you cap a point, you go up there, you wait for them to push the point, bang, you jump on their Reinhardt, the Reinhardt falls, you collapse onto their team. The defense, in my opinion, is so weak. I don't like how much altercations there are. There's that pillar in the middle. All you can pretty much do is hide around that pillar. And then guess what? That pillar literally does nothing, because when they're literally flanking and walking over you, the 2 doorways, in my opinion, is completely stupid. I don't like that design, because it literally just means that McCree can just come around the left-hand side and boop, 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 boop. My supports are gone. What am I going to do? I'm going to die. And then don't even get me started with that hole in the middle of that point. That room on the left, the choke little room with a small health pack, absolute hell. Don't even go in there. Don't even try it, right? Because you're going to get solo Farah barraged. Don't even go in there. Oh, on the right-hand side, guess what? You got a Reddit Lucio. He's going, and then guess what? You've just lost your McCree and your Mercy. How does Mercy fall down there? We'll never even know. She has a fire ability, but still can't use it.
Every
That's
single
okay.
time.
I don't understand how they do it, but they do it. Then you're there as a tank. Fall back, fall back, fall back. And there's so much open space that their DPS just goes, bang, 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 bang. Your shield's gone. Oh no. Guess I'll just feed ults. And then guess what? You come into the next site, you haven't got any ults because the McQueen's been feeding half the game. The blimmin' Farah's got a barrage up and ready, so you have no clue how to attack. You've got a flanking Roadhog in the small little area on the right-hand side who just peeks for a second, hooks your Ana, shotguns her, runs away. You've got the Rhino who's up close, just like bullying the hell into you. He's swinging into your shield, and you're forced to hold up your shield because you don't have an Ana, so you can't drop your shield and go aggressive. In my opinion, the game is always just never great whenever you're defending, and then some maps are either like, whoa, defending is like super hard, and then some maps are just, what the hell? I can't even attack. And that's why Oasis number 3. Now, I'm about to get some hate for this one, and I can already tell, because I already know this is going to piss off a certain person who's in this party.
Uh-oh.
You.
Me.
I'm sure.
No, I mean, it might, but I know for a fact it's going to piss off someone who goes by the name of Pharrell.
God.
I didn't know Sombra was a map.
Oh, no.
Shut up!
I feel that same way about Sombra.
Number 2 is Junkertown.
There it is.
Now,
Sad
I
for
want
Illinois.
you to imagine, right, defending on Junkertown with the current map, which is a brawl comp, right, there is no natural cover to play. That map was literally designed for Bastion comps. It was literally designed for an Orisa Bastion on defense, Orisa Bastion on literal attack. You have your Widowmaker spots that are literally stupid. How the hell is that Widowmaker suspended 6 foot in the air by a piece of metal that's hanging off the side of a building? I will never know. She pops. Guess what? You thought you could win? No, because Bastion's already melted your shield and you were all dying. You're pushing to the second bit. Huh. Well, you can't go back on there and try and touch, because guess what? Bastion's already set there. Now, this is where the interesting thing comes in, because the third point is the only time you can actually deal with Bastion, they have to switch off. But, to your demise, what do? They play the high ground. They have a Reaper. The Reaper comes down, bang, bang, your backline's gone. Before you even have time to react, you've got a Sombra hacking, spraying you down. Next thing you know, you're waiting. You're waiting for them to push. All you hear is that translocator sound come in, and the teleport, and all you hear is, propaganda Las Lucis. And then you're like, oh god, you're all unnerved. Next thing you know, you hear, die. You turn around, you literally turn around, and you see your Mercy, your Ana, your McCree, your Soldier, just all just get obliterated behind you. You're like, oh god. The PTSD sets back in. Their tanks play very aggressive into you. And then all you hear then is the sound of the bongo get placed, and you go, I don't want to listen to this song, I'm out. So you start running back to your spawn, and then you hide, and then they push the cut, because you literally can't retouch, because that bongo literally destroys your whole entire team. And also, did I mention that it can literally get covered by a digger, whilst also still being able to produce a beam through said digger. Who at Blizzard designed that digger, I will never know. Junkertown, absolute trash of a map. If anyone disagrees with me, death row for you.
Well, you'll hear my disagreement in a couple weeks. Don't you worry.
Right.
It's not my favorite map, but it's one of my favorites.
I just can't. No. Junkertown is a terrible map. I hate it, especially as a Reinhardt player. I cannot get anything done. I'm forced to switch to dive, which I can't be bothered to play.
Oh,
Who
playing
wants
on
to
it
play
is
Winston?
Playing on it definitely sucks sometimes. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I like Junkertown for entirely different reasons.
You can't apply pressure, because let's be real, yeah? If you don't have a good Widowmaker and the enemy team have a good Widowmaker, you're basically screwed on Junkertown. That's how Junkertown is played.
Fact.
It's literally just who has the better Widowmaker beyond that point. And the tanks are just there, just like holding shields up into each other's faces, just waiting for that Widowmaker to get picked off, so that your team can collapse onto their team. In my opinion, it needs to be reworked. It needs to be a lot more close quarters. I think it's way too much open space. And don't even get me started on the Hammond rollouts. I hate that man. The man, he just swings on that water tower, comes in, he just like 10-pin rolls you out of the high ground. You're there struggling with your life, trying to keep your head out of the water. Nah, because guess what? Your Ana was stupid, and she went further back, so she didn't get knocked back. So guess what's happening now? Well, balls come in, Winston's come in, your Ana's picked off. Well, guess what? That's your main support down, boys. Time to lose. Simple as that. Junkertown, terrible map. Please get rid of it, Blizzard. We don't want it anymore. Thank you. Now, number one. I know for a fact I'm about to get so much hate because this map is very beloved by the old community.
If you say King's Row.
Oh, no. If I said that, no. I'd be immediately kicked from the server.
I was about to say, you'd be having, like, people knocking on your door with AKs, like, what the fuck did you just say?
They wouldn't even knock on my doors, dude. They'd just nuke my house.
It would be like a SWAT team just coming in.
Nah, King's Row is a nice map, and I love King's Row, so no, it's not number one. But okay, this is a control map. Okay, and now I know what most people are gonna start thinking, right? Most people right here would say Ilios, right? Ilios is one of those maps that I either like or I hate, but no. It is, in fact, Busan.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Busan, in my opinion, is so terrible. It's going back to the same thing as Junkertown. On the city map, all it is who has a better Widowmaker?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Number one. Bang. I couldn't care. That point's absolutely hell. No thank you. Don't even get me started by the choke points with the maze, okay? Then you have Mecha Base, which is quite literally a slaughterfest, because all that happens is your Ana gets walled off, the D.Va dives to Ana, the team dies, collapses on top of you, they capture the point. Folks, that's all I'm saying. Good luck, because with that Mei, as soon as your tank walks through, he's gone. Like, you might as well just pray beyond that point, because he ain't coming back. Now, what else? Then you got Shrine, right? Don't even get me started. Right? What the hell is that point? That point is the most smallest thing I have ever seen. Like, what am I? Like, I can't even fit my team on the objective. Like, what? I gotta keep my arm and my Lucio on top of the drum? Like, no! I don't want to be up there. I want to be in the fight.
I mean, you can put the Lucio up there, but...
Yeah, no, I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Busan is a terrible map. Busan, in my opinion, should not exist. And if anyone says, oh, but Busan's a nice map, it's nice, ooh, nice Korean culture, whatever. I don't care.
Hey, Sig. Sig.
That
The Busan's a nice map. It's got good Korean culture.
Yeah, that drum is pretty neat. That drum's pretty neat.
The only good thing on that map is the fact I can do a karaoke as Reinhardt, okay?
Exactly.
That's the
don't
only
forget about the
upsides to
dance
that.
minigame. Don't forget about
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Oh, it doesn't even work! It doesn't even
Yes,
work!
yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Wait,
Yeah, it does
I'm
work.
playing it right now. That's what I'm sitting here doing while we're doing podcast. I'm just saying a
man
custom game
sat there
playing
going
dance.
for the world record right now.
Hey, that's actually an idea. No.
Shit.
Man speedruns the tutorial of Overwatch. Hey.
I feel like I have seen people do that.
I used to play.
I've done that because I was bored.
I won a DDR competition when I was younger, and that was like a thing that happened. DDR competition.
Nice.
What is DDR? Am I missing
Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Dance
Oh
Revolution.
no, done.
Yeah.
Done.
The other one was
Quiet.
Pump It Up. If you had Pump It Up, that was like the Korean version, which is what I
Pump
had.
it up.
Pump It Up, and it has 5
Okay.
steps instead of 4, and I always liked it better. But yeah, no, I could do things like turn around, like, and do it backwards because I'd memorized all the steps. I don't know. I was just.
Nice.
I don't know.
Sounds like me with Guitar Hero being able to play it upside down behind my back.
That is so
No.
cool. I couldn't do
You're
that.
one of those.
I have seen some people play some guitar. They're like, I'm like, how the hell does your fingers even work like that?
Yeah,
I can
I'm
just
like,
about,
I don't get it.
I can just
Oh.
about jump and hold my shield up as Reinhardt. How the hell are you spamming those buttons that quickly? Like, what the hell?
I'm the sort of person that will hold a paper plate in my hand and a fork in the other and have trouble deciding, does the fork go in the trash or does the fork go in the sink?
That's what I do.
Wait a minute. So, my coordination, I can't do it on Monster Hunter. Plus, I mean, on Monster Hunter?
I
On,
should
Guitar
flex
Hero.
even more then. I can
I
play
know,
Guitar
right?
Hero with my toes.
What the
Fuck you.
fuck?
Okay, buddy.
Yo, man sat here playing
Why?
like
I like it.
Wii
It's
Resort
cool.
with like bananas or something.
What?
Yeah, I've seen people play Dark Souls with bananas and like drums and
Yeah,
like
have you
a
seen the
pair
guy
of,
who's literally played Widowmaker with a baguette? Like the
Yeah,
man's like fully rigged his
people-
horse.
Yes.
Dark Souls
You're just like-
little slabs of meat.
You're like, why? It's really cool, but why?
I want to know how they even go about like programming that. Like,
I
we're
don't
just typing
know.
each one
Well, I
equals
guess like if you learn
X.
to do it, it should be pretty impressive on your resume. And like, if you put it in
Well,
resume
can
speak, if you were
play
like
Dark Souls
promoted-
with meat.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
how-
you gotta put it through
How do you
resume.
program?
For programming, yes, that'd actually be pretty
No, no.
impressive.
See, what you have to do is put in beat Dark Souls no hits with slab of meat, and boom, you got the job.
We have to
You're
be
a
like
massive
guiding
scientist.
somebody through their own inner dealings, interdemons, and the working of their world solely using my advice, my brains, and
And
my
slab of
lunch.
meat.
Which I
And my
wanted in at
lunch.
the last moment in order to give him input. Like, you've got to do it like resume. You can't be like playing video games because no one cares.
I like how I'm sitting here playing a dancing minigame and Overwatch and coloring. This
I
is
love
life.
that.
Alright
That's so
then.
comfy.
So
Alright,
who's
can
gonna
I go
do their
next?
list next?
Hunter.
I'll go next because mine are like is a little bit of a jump off of his. So this is Yig's completely, totally, definitely not biased at all.
Get on
Map
with it.
hatreds, and yes, I will die on pretty much all of these hills. Oh, so this is the support view because I only play Zarya like sometimes to piss off my friends late at night, and my DPS is wood tier, so that's not happening. All right, so I'm gonna hop off of his. The two that you agreed with me.
I'll understand their perspective, so I want to hear this too.
The two that you agreed with me were Busan and Habana. And so, kind of why? You'll notice actually that a lot of these are predicated on this one issue. Not all of them, but a lot of them you'll see my hatred for this type of play come out. Most of the ones I'm on offer ridiculous sight lines for like Widowmakers, to be way far back and still getting accurate kills while not allowing a whole lot of defensive positions or good defensive sight lines. And you have to, I mean, notice my rank. I am like mid-diamond, lower masters. I bounce around between those two. And so frequently, I'll be playing in games, and what do we have? We have a god-tier Widow on one side, and then nobody can play Widow on our side. That other team will just kick your ass simply because the sightlines are so much better. You just, unless you are highly coordinated, having a good Widow on the other team, especially on Havana, is just a death sentence. You know, the spawn camping, defending is a nightmare as it is, unless you have an amazing god-tier Widow, and the other enemy team is maybe not as coordinated as they need to be. But on the other hand, I just don't like this map. It seems like a giant, it's just this, it's a little boring, really. It's a giant straight line, and I know a lot of other maps are, but I feel like they do a better job concealing that. I also don't like the spawn points. The first spawn point's fine. The second spawn point is okay when you're starting. But this other spawn point that's between like point 2 and 3 it's just obnoxious. You have to run so far without any view of like what the battle is going, because you're looking off to the wrong side. It's just quality of life and positional things that I just don't like. It's a map that, like you were saying earlier, it's almost a map of contradictions. You've got like huge area, and then you've got area where you play ring around the boss, and then you go in and there's, you know, you're inside like a fucking smart car, and then you go around and it comes back into a truck. You know, you're in the back of a truck now, and you're like, okay, well. And then you go outside, and then it is just long-range sniper all the way to the castle with what I think is an obnoxious spawn point as well. And so you've got really good sight lines. If your team does not play either well together or in certain combinations of heroes in a certain way, it becomes really hard to try to push that payload and have your team do anything other than defend against Mei, Symmetra, long range, that just sit in the castle and just fuck you up. You either have to have another good Widow, and they've got to be good enough to at least win the fights at least 50% of the time, because other than that, you're just not getting any value. So, you know, if their good Widow is getting value, yours isn't, you're basically 5v6ing there. And their other team is covered by their Widow, and they'll come out and do stuff. That defensive point there can be really nasty if you've got good snipers. For Ana as well. As far as being a support, this is like a unique critique. Say that I die after we're defending and they've hit point 1 going into point 2, and I die. There's this big long like corridor that's in the way. You know where I'm talking about, where you come up there and like you go all the way and then you turn left. And then there's like another room that leads out to a, like if you go straight from that room, it leads to the stairs sort of near the back of the large area. And if you go the other way, it's literally above second point where you, second point save spot, whatever I'm trying to, anyway, as a support, especially like a Mercy or somebody where I'm following someone, that is such a pain to get out of. Normally I have enough lines on other maps to be able to fly to somebody or tell them to come back. Frequently, all these walls up there and their placements, it's these big giant rooms where there's literally nothing interfering, and then you've got all these like smaller wall areas where if you have line of sight, which is a big thing for healers, it's such a huge pain. It's just frustrating because your team you've got to either really know your team, but I've lost so much more to people running around a corner and I'm running after them screaming, stop, stop, I'm trying to heal you, and they won't. And so I'm wasting my healing and my time, where if they had just fucking stopped, it's a lot of stuff like that. It's a lot of just inconvenience. It's either giant space where you're like, guess I'll die if there's a Pharah or a Widow nearby and you don't have a shield. And then the flanking routes, So that's how I feel about Havana. It's a lot of sightlines that I don't like. The other one you said was Busan.
Yeah.
I don't like Busan. For a lot of reasons. And again, this is just my personal... One of the things about Busan is first there's the initial fight before the point. And this is frequently Widow upstairs, maybe Widow, if both teams don't have a Widow, one is gone ahead at a disadvantage. It's a good Pharah map, But it's a game of guessing when you come out. Who's going to have a good Widow? Is the other team going to have a Pharah? What's going to happen there? And if your tank is not on point with shields, one of your team is absolutely going to get picked from that Widow that you don't know is there until they're there or whatever. And so you have this big open area up there, and it's balanced between, do I go get the flankers over there so there's less at the point? Somebody's got to go take out the Widow on the top, and then somebody's got to go get on point. And then it's very easy to get split up. And there's so much high, like, control from the high points that it's just that on that first map, I don't like that one. When both teams finally get to the middle, that's really fun. But there's just so much, like, area out there that becomes once irrelevant once everybody gets on the point. But that's frustrating to me. The other parts about Busan I don't like are the one with the moving walls. Okay, downstairs where you can boot people, that's super fun as a Lucio, I'm not gonna lie. Are you really helping down there? No, but it's really fun to boot people off if they'll ever come down there. I don't really like the element of luck that comes with this. There are so many times where I have been saved when I absolutely should not have been by one of those walls rising. I have also gotten cooked many times by them dropping at the wrong point or starting to rise at the wrong point. One of those, like everyone's tried hiding behind, the Diva Bomb comes and you are nowhere near anything else and that's your choice and it just goes, you're like, okay, it will be down, but it shows like the top of your head and you fucking die. That, or this one. Hello, I'm a Lucio and I'm going to give you sound barrier. I'm going to drop it. As soon as I'm in the process of dropping it, it comes up just enough. Because remember, I'm like in the back here. I may not get it off if I go in the middle, I'm kind of in the back, and I'm looking over that little ramp from when I'm coming in, and that stupid thing comes up just enough where it blocks your tank's line of sight, or he runs over there, like you have line of sight when you start, somebody runs behind the wall, and you're just like, great, okay, just don't have my sound barrier then. Don't get it! Flanking on that can be really annoying. And it's another thing with Busan where you get a lot of confusion where people are flanking from one direction or another. And so just that inherent, because there's like 3 main ways to go and you playing a bit of chess here, I know a lot of teams will just kind of stop and be like, no, we're going this way. We go this way. No, we go this way. And then people get confused and go different ways, which I know is on the teams, but on the other hand, it's just annoying. The bits of luck there, that is. And then the last one, the drum one, that drum gets in the way. Now I like getting on top of it as Lucio, but that whole map area is just, it's odd because the little poles there can sometimes cover you and sometimes don't from enemy ults and things like that. It's a really small point to fight off of. There's I think a lot of interesting strategies that can come up from there, but once you get one team off, that other team can push forward and sort of spawn camp, especially if they have ults. Busan is one of those that if one team gains a pretty good ult advantage, they win. It's really about that. You can't, a lot of the other teams, there's interplay where sometimes the team will have a massive ult advantage. It's like, all right, okay, you know, they ulted, whatever, we go back, we start over. But Busan is one of those, if a team has that, they're going to have that the rest of the game. And it's going to be a very hard climb to go against that.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, again, it's not, this is a support perspective as well. Also, all of these they don't have a whole lot of great places for support players on both of these to be somewhere, like, safe while healing. You have to go out in the open, you know. Oftentimes, if you're an Ana, that can work if you have a DPS that'll protect you, or like the Widow wins the other Widow battle, because frequently a Genji will come back there and kill you, but your tank can't come back and help you because they're fighting off the battle in front. So and sightlines for like Zenyatta, for Lucio's heals, the safe spots never offer good sightlines. Like, I guess will be my last example, but like, you know, on Havana, first point, going forward, and it goes around the corner, and then it's going to go straight to the warehouse. There's that flank area to the left if you're attacking, where that's a building and it's got like a alleyway in the back. Going in there as a support is great to hide in there. But unfortunately, if you need to get line of sight on somebody, every single way you try to go out, your line of sight will be blocked in 3 directions. You only get to pick one from either side which you come out. So it can be, it's very frustrating trying to stay in a safe spot because you will get absolutely donked on from the snipers on the enemy team if you're not like either up your tank's ass, which is never really a good place to be, or you're not hiding. There are some good Baptiste places though. All right. So a long time ago, once upon a time, I fucking hated Horizon Lunar Colony. I just thought it was the worst fucking map and would frequently ask people to dodge it. And I would dodge it myself sometimes because I just fucking hated it. The small change they made actually made that map bearable. I really like it now. It's one of my favorites. So I had to go down and looking at some of these original maps that I don't like because it was unequivocally Horizon Lunar Colony. And other people felt the same way because I'd watch other teams dodge all the time. I do not like Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else? Do you guys like it or not like it?
I love Route.
I don't like it, in my opinion. I mean, it's okay. It's like, well, it's a game
exactly.
between me.
It's okay. Route 66.
I don't even think it's okay.
So one of the reasons I don't like it is that for some godforsaken reason, every team I've been on has me play this map every single time it comes up. I don't know why that is. I asked to play King's Row, I asked to play Ilios, I asked to play literally any other map. Every single one of my teams puts me on this map. And that's kind of how I feel about this map. If I'm the throwaway support, this is the throwaway map. It's okay. And that's about it. There's nothing good about it. There's not a whole lot of good fights. Now, some of my most fun fights have come like right at the beginning where one team is like attempting to full hold. I think that's great. The middle area is just, what is happening here? What is this? What's going on? And then the final route can be kind of fun. But all of this map is entirely dependent on if your team is decent or not. If you have a fun, coordinated team, this map can be super fun, especially if you're allowed to do dumb shit like, flank Roadhog and stuff like that. It's great for dumb shit. But if you just play it straightforward, I don't know, I find it kind of boring. I just get tired of it. You can't make that many interesting plays here. It's just like a lot of what are intended to be interesting areas are just sort of gimmicky, like nobody goes there. And yeah, it has some interesting flanking routes though, so that's what I'm gonna say for it. It is condemned because it's boring as fuck.
Aww.
So the last one is, I think people are gonna cry blasphemy on this, but I'm not entirely sure. I know everybody says this is a good map, but it's also one of those where I'm like, does everybody just say that because they think so or because other people say it kind of situations? That is Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Oh my god, thank you!
Okay, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't like this map. Everybody, like, every time I would play, a lot of times, like playing comp or whatever, people will go, oh yes, Watchpoint Gibraltar, and I'm like, oh, I just don't like this map. I think defending is okay, attacking is not. The middle section? I don't know. Okay, so the first section there, for attacking to, everybody, okay, they kind of have the standard, here's what you do. You have a defending team are upstairs, high ground. Maybe you try to get a widow positioned up there, whatever, you're trying to do that, and then enemy team coming forward kind of gets all that space until they round the corner. And that can be some interesting interplay, although everybody has had this, where one person is like, no, I'm gonna stun trap them, and they go up there and immediately get killed, so you're like, great, now we're down 5v6, because dumbass over there doesn't understand that with payload healing and their entire fucking team there, no, he is not gonna be killing the enemy Doomfist. And it's usually a Hanzo or a Doomfist, let me be real. If you can pull that stuff up, it's great, but if not, it screws your team. And so the biggest thing to me about this is this can either go super well or just be such a clusterfuck. The moment the attacking payload goes around the corner, you have to make the decision, TM. And that is, when do you jump down and from what direction? I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, that point right there is at the point where every single person on my team ceases to speak the same language. We don't understand English anymore. It's 12 different languages, and one was from Mars. And I'm sure one person is holding a stroke. And you'll hear, and almost always, though, don't blame the teams for doing it at spur of the moment, you almost always hear that we have agreed on something beforehand. We're going to drop when the barrier gets under the tunnel. We can drop there trying to get their supports, or we can drop in front trying to get their tank, or maybe we wait till the bottom and hit them with an ult. Whatever, okay? There's been a lot of choices, and we've decided we're going to drop down as soon as they go through the tunnel. We're like, okay. And what happens?
They hit tunnel and nobody drops.
I drop. I am there. Your main support has dropped. Maybe either these are the two who actually go with me, Winston or Hog. No other tank players drop down, but a Winston or a Hog will go with you. And then suddenly, we're back there, and it depends on the enemy team's awareness. Sometimes they don't notice, really, or like maybe one person turns around, you can get it to go away. But chances are you are going to lose your main support and your tank because they were the two that were like, we're going down this way. Well, what happens is we die, and then as we're going back, we're like, guys, what happened? I thought we were going to drop. Why did that not happen? And you get these ideas. Oh, drop for. Oh, no, I was going to drop, behind to help you guys. Well, why didn't you drop? Oh, well, by the time I was ready, you were dead. Well, no, okay, you got to drop when we drop if you're dropping that there, okay? And then you've got this other guy, and you look over and where the fuck is he? He's over by, like, the mega, in the hangar room, like by the stairs. He's over there, and he's like, I'm flanking. We're like, why would you be doing that? No way! Your idea is that while we jump down, and the other guy jumps down in front of them, and we sandwich them, you're gonna wait until they go all the way up and around the corner, and you're gonna fucking flank. Okay, understood. And then you get this too. You get the either main support or second support, whichever one cannot move well, get stuck upstairs. Like it's either like a Brig or a Zenyatta or a Mercy who can't fly to anybody, and they're like, well, there was no one to go to, so I just stayed up here and hid. And you're like, you're supposed to drop down with us. I know, but I couldn't see you. Well, then just drop down. I know, but I couldn't. I was dead. And this happens.
I hate those
every time. And then our other tank is just like, do I drop? No. Oh, now? Oh, you meant now. Like 4 seconds later, he drops, and then he dies too. Every time.
So if you want to know why I started dying so hard, so you're picturing this, and you're talking about this, and literally all I picture while this is going on is I see one support and a Roadhog both drop in front of the payload, and now it's them like talking to the team afterwards, and it like plays back what's going on. You've got the tank like standing up there, super confused, like looking up at the birds. You've got your Mercy in a corner, like in the fetal position, like when do I drop? And then what made me die the most is I'm picturing the doofus in the playground with a shit-eating grin on his face, like I'm gonna flank.
Exactly, you know that.
We need a comic of this.
I could draw that, but it's usually me on Lucio and a Roadhog, and the Roadhog's like going forward, and he's saying, heal me, and I'm like, I'm existing as hard as I can, I literally can't be more. Where's our Mercy?
Like, it's the second spawn room.
I thought they had a Genji.
I just picture like the entire team in the second spawn room with the Roadhog and Lucio just sitting next to each other. It's like, so are we going to discuss what happened there?
That's what you're saying. Like, so are we going to talk about this? Or like, nah. That's what I say. You can hear that in my voice. So that's how I feel about that part of Watchpoint Gibraltar. But then, oh wait,
There's
shenanigans. And I realize that probably a lot of this could be solved is if your team is like Grandmaster or above, and they're like not so incoordinated or dumb. But again, I'm talking about this from the level of Diamond Masters, and even comps sometimes where you get this. So here we go. The enemy team has hard fought through all of the ults. The attacking team has hard fought through all of the stall ults. You know, you get a Mei, you get a Diva, you get a Lucio, you get a Bob, you get a Hamster, and you just stall at that first point for 3 billion years. While everybody else is praying they don't die, so they don't have to do the 20-second run from spawn. And so finally, all the ults are gone. Both sides have done all their ults in like really inappropriate ways because they're just super OV enthusiastic on getting that point. So nobody has any ults now. Except for the Reaper that has been holding his for the last 2.5 minutes.
That's me.
And here's why.
I feel personally attacked here.
So enemy team is like kind of getting ready again to start pushing. We are the defending team in this particular scenario. Our defending team is like, okay, well we're not going to let them get through the second point. Now the second point of Watchpoint Gibraltar works in either two ways. One, you go as fast as fucking possible, and you have maybe one fight, and then it's done. And that's it. Maybe there's a fight kind of toward the middle, or like only at the very last part. That is one way, where it is basically no resistance, because teams are confused about spawn points, or like running back, or I don't even fucking know. That just happens. Or usually it's this. They're trickling in because this guy had good spawn, that guy had bad spawn. Whatever, and so it takes forever to spawn back. So there's that. That's not what we're going to talk about, though. We're going to talk about the other version, where you actually have fights in this area. So, alright, so I have switched to Mercy because our other Mercy was incompetent, got mad, and switched to Moira so she can DPS. So I am Mercy, and I come out, and I'm looking for my team. We have an Orisa, or a Reinhardt, we have a Orisa, and we've got a Roadhog. Chilling out. We're ready to go do their thing. Now look around, and we have a McCree up on top of the below the plane, and our Moira is with her tanks, and I'm looking to go boost our McCree, but I'm also looking to go boost our Reaper and keep him alive for his ult that he's had for the past 2.5 minutes. So I'm looking around and looking around. I can't find anybody. Can't find Reaper. Can't find. I see McCree up there, and then we spend about 20 minutes doing this. McCree, I need to fly to you. Can you walk back some? Walks all the way back so he's not visible. No. A little bit forward, like through the plane door, because I need to be able to target you. Walks through the plane door. And I'm like, oh, I can't, but if I run back, I can target it. He goes back in. McCree, please, come back out so I can fly to you. Let me fly to you. Well, where are you? Well, I'm in back of you. Well, back of you. And this goes on for about 20 minutes until I can finally maneuver into a position where I can actually see his body and fly to him. So we've made it up there. Bonus points if the enemy, while you were doing this argument, came up here, flanks, and kills the McCree as soon as you fly up. So not only are you alone with a DPS, you panic res. And ta-da! Sometimes it works. Or you just die. Anyway, you're looking for your Reaper. You're like, what Reaper? And the tanks are getting a little annoyed too. They're like, where is this Reaper? What is he doing? Why is he holding his ult? Well, you know what he's doing? He is over at the attack spawn, and he is creeping. He's like Batman. He's like creeping over top. Little steps.
Don't worry, guys.
And we're
I've got a plan.
There's 2 guys beneath you. Go ahead and drop and take it out. And he's like, no. I can get a 5K. I can get a 5K. They don't even know
The sad part is this is the most truth ever.
No, we see you. They see you. That soldier over there sees you.
They're already shooting at you!
He's not even shooting at me. He's not shooting at me, so clearly they don't. The soldier 100% knows that he's there, or the McCree. Probably
just
McCree
waiting.
in this case. He's just waiting. He's like, we're like, that doesn't mean anything, because what he's going to do is stun you the moment you drop down. No, he doesn't even see me. We're like, no, please come back to your team and help us. Our McCree and our Mercy up here are dead. We need a DPS with our tanks so they don't just get bowled over. Dude's like, man, and you don't even need any of that, because I'm gonna jump down and kill 5 of them.
Mercy's in the fetal position again.
He has to wait, and this takes 30 seconds as they go up, around, and then start going under the plane. So that, because in this Reaper's mind, he's like, you know what's going to happen? Instead of going like right, they're going to go up now to the spawn point, and when they're going up, and they are looking forward, they'll have no idea I'm back here looking backward. Nobody looks backward on the payload. And so he gets up there, on top of that thing, and he drops down and starts his ult, and you get down. As he is immediately stunned by the Brig, pulled by the Orisa, stunned by the McCree, and frozen by the Mei. And we're like, see, that's what we told you would happen.
You're forgetting one. You forgot hooked by the hog.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. Got hooked by the hog as well.
Everything.
He gets absolutely just
Trust me.
decimated, just fucking blown the fuck out. And we're like, so Reaper, do you see why we wanted you would have gotten so much more use out of the ults? We could have stalled them. You know, yeah, that's he's like, well, maybe if I had some support with me. Honey, if you were back with the team, the Moira could heal you. What's more, if you are in any way inclined to stick your dumb head out so the Mercy can fly to you, and she starts doing it, and you're like, no, you give away my position. Ow. Okay, but then it's the support's fault when you die. Like, no one's healing me. No one is protecting me. Where is my shield?
No, then they blame the Zarya because Zarya didn't bubble him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zarya is dead and coming back from spawn now.
Precisely. Yeah.
Dead because the Mercy was right, and
I see on my screen, I need healing, and I spam back, group up with me, group up with my dead ass that's sitting in hell. So where are you going after this? I love it when people are screaming at me to heal them and I'm dead. Like, I'm not sure what you want, but I know what you're not getting. Priority and heals.
Just heal, forehead. It's just a button.
See, I've always said that if you're a Reaper, you shouldn't be asking for heals because you heal yourself. Just get good at the game.
Yup. Well,
just heal
and
yourself.
that's why I'm a one-trick Reaper, because I don't know how to play anything else.
But that's me as supports. I can't hit shit, except when I'm on supports. So, like, what happens after the Reaper dies is that now your tanks have died, but now you notice the McCree and the Mercy died earlier. So they are coming in one by one and just getting fed to the enemy team. Just like, it's just like a whole 6-course meal. Hors d'oeuvres, soup, fish meal, your rice and beans, like, coming around. And there's one person...
You get the enemy Zenyatta. Hey. Oh, yes, we are.
Exactly. And like one person, and there's like 2 people talking about the same topic but blaming each other. They're like, you guys need, we have time, just wait, and we all group up. And the other guy is, we don't have time, we have no time, but we need to at least kind of stay together, so maybe 2 of us will have a chance. And the other guy's like, we have time, we haven't time, run in. And you get staggered into death while all of the enemy team replaces their ults. Meanwhile, your Reaper, now seeing that we're in the 3rd corner, has decided to change to Bastion. Because down in Plat, you know, when the last time he played this map when he was down in Plat before getting boosted, Bastion killed everything on this last point. So he goes Bastion, and then he looks at our team and notices we are running Zarya, D.Va, Zen, and Lucio. And he starts screaming about how we're going to win, but he demands that we change the entire team composition for him. You know, he wants double shield now. He wants double shield with an Ana and a Mercy, and then everybody else to get out of the way. Maybe like a Sombra and some other. He's demanding now that every single person on the team change to a different character. And, you know, okay. After some arguing and some people being like, well, I don't play that character at all. I think you'd work better with me on Zarya. I just don't play shield tanks. I play off tanks and things like that. Finally, he's like, all right, I'll try it. Just to get this guy to shut up, because here's what's going to happen. We will all change. The Bastion kid, he's on Bastion for the next 12 years. He will never get off, ever. And just the more you tell him, like, don't think we can't protect you. I don't think maybe a Bastion, there's some other ideas here that might go well. Nah. So what we do, right? We're like, okay, you know what? Maybe this dude has a plan. So far, we've not been doing so hot. Let's follow him. We put the Bastion down. We have the dual shields. We have the supports. We have everything ready. And then, so we're ready. We're taking our final stand right before, like it starts underneath that bridge, you know, to get to the main point. We're taking our stand there. And then we're ready. We're assumed nothing is going to happen. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear, da-da-da-da-da-da. You look around, you're like, what? And then a ball just dives you and dumps dumps mines all over you, and everybody gets blown to Kingdom Come, and then their team all shoots the Bastion, and then all of us are just in a dire array because now we are now a Bastion setup with no Bastion to hold it down, and it's not going to break their shit. So we all die, and then it becomes a 1.5 minute battle, because it always is 1.5 to 2 minute battle at the end, as each of us trigger in just at the right time to go over May freeze, May wall, run around, die. But by that time, Ball's out. Okay, Ball. All right, and the next time, oh, it's Roadhog. Oh, and accompanying Roadhog is a Lucio. Oh, okay. Uh-oh, it's a Sombra. You will be stalling for the next 2 minutes. This is why I do not like Watchpoint Gibraltar. And my last one is gonna be a weird one, because I couldn't really decide. I don't hate that many maps. The last one is gonna be Ilios. I know. Fucking blasphemy from a Lucio main.
Let's go.
Wow.
Only one map of Ilios.
No, all of them. No, except for Ruin. Ruin's alright.
No. I love the other two. Ruin.
What? No.
Ruin.
How can you like WoW? How can you like WoW?
Lucio
No,
main.
Lucio main.
Yeah, you're
Lucio
Lucio
main.
Oh, you entitled look. I don't want to play a recent Roadhog just because it suits you. No!
Yeah, so, hey, as a healer, for once in my damn life, I want to be accommodated. Most of the time, I'm like, we don't need an Ana. Get off Ana. I don't want you to play Ana. Oh, we don't need a Brigitte. Go be Mercy. You're a girl. Go be Mercy. I'm like, no. For one map.
Why should I be forced to play a comp that's so bad? And it's not even skill. It's just who the hell can use their cooldowns the best. And I'm good.
Well, I like booping. The rest, and here's my thing. I like booping so much that I don't give a shit what the rest of you want. You want to run dive? Cool, I'll go for it. I'm not going to ask you to go certain ones. But
Then
I like
guess what, my friend? Try and boopsy Reinhardt.
I like booping. It's really fun.
Well,
the map, though.
Sig,
the map I hate. Oh.
Nothing. You keep going.
Okay, I'm almost done. The map I hate is Ruins.
No, it's the only map you can play Reinhardt on. No, don't do this.
Again, remember, support perspective, I am a Lucio main. There's nowhere to fucking boop that's satisfying. I don't like it. No, I'm gonna die on. No.
You know what? If you want to play Reinhardt on Ilios, just go down the gold. Everyone plays Reinhardt and D.Va on Ilios.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm off, boys. I'm off for gold. But listen, how can you say as a Lucio player you don't like Ruin? I have seen countless amount of rollouts on Ruin. It's like the best for Lucio because all the pillars you can boost.
It's so good. Yeah, my rollouts are fantastic, and I love doing that. But do you know what else happens all the time when I play on Ruins? Here I am. I'm zooming. I'm doing Tokyo Drift, man. I am all over the place. I'm a work of art as I skate across the world. I am a piece of Grecian artwork in motion. And then I look back, and my team decides to go in one by one down that middle track. And then one by one, they get picked off by the enemy widow. I'm there. I am ready to do everything. I can do amazing things on Ruins. If my team could ever reach the fucking point. The last few times I have played on this map, it got to the point where I would have to switch healers to another main heal because my team can't reach the middle point. I'm there, I'm ready to kick ass, and I've sped them throughout the way, but there's a Widow over there, or a Hanzo, or there's a Sombra in back, and my team just can't reach it in one piece. So I'm there doing my work, but I am one person against 6. And that's why I don't like that map. I also don't like it because it's another one of those, if one team has a really good Widow and your team doesn't, you're just fucked. But it's, Ilios has a lot of good little corridors that are very easy to just blink people off one by one. It's fun for Lucio, but your team has to be able to actually get in. When they do, it's super fun. That's my complaint. So those are mine, and like, you'll notice that none of these are, I'm not actually like hate it or anything like that. I was just trying to find like kind of funny things to say, because I don't really hate any maps. I groan when I get Havana, where I'm like, I don't want to play this, but it's not like, you know, so much I want to, you know,
Like
leave
I want to
or
kill
whatever.
myself.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's just like I'd rather it have been a different map, but fine.
All right. So yeah, Sig, are you challenging me to boot you as a Reinhardt? Because
You can't
I will,
boot me. I got
I will
50%
go Roadhog and pull you off the.
Okay, that's kind of what I like about WoW. I know everybody else hates it, but it's like I can't take it seriously. So I completely understand that if you are like seriously hardcore trying to win, that map, because it is so fucking random with the boops and everything and the way that people play, is a pain in the ass. I almost can't take it seriously because I just like to see everyone attempt boops and fail, and then like the close calls are the ones where it was like this Orisa pulled the Reinhardt into the Roadhog into the map. Into the well. But wait, he hooks her. Shit goes down too. Shit like that. Or like there was one time where there was an enemy McCree high nooning. I think this happened, Grave. I think this happened last night where we were trying out the new mode, and I booped him, and oh my god, I was so mad because he's literally standing there on his toes. That is all that kept him from going in. And then he high nooned like 3 of us. But it was really funny because I was like, so far, yet no.
It's so close, but yet so far.
No. I like the it's like the drama, I guess, that goes on those maps. It's really fun.
You see, I love it more when I'm like playing Orisa and I like throw my hole over the well, and I'm like, I got him. No, I didn't get him. Oh, I got him!
Yeah. There's like this whole, like, it's a really delightful way to play where it's super chaotic because, like, let's be honest, unless you are hardcore focused on winning it, it becomes kind of just like a giant fucking meme from both sides. Like, both sides will be like, okay, yeah, no, that was a quality boop. All right, whether you were the one that booped them, and their team is like, holy fuck, Lucio, best boop ever, and the enemy team is like, you know what?
Shit.
I can't like get mad at that. That was very clean. I can't even get mad. He booped 3 of us at once. What can you say to that?
See, that's the sad part, is I never get the chance to feel that because I refuse to play Lucio.
Motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Well, no, it's for a good reason. So I'm one of those people that if I play Lucio, all I do is wall ride. I won't even be near the team. I just have too much fun playing Lucio with his mechanics.
Well, the thing is if you're good enough, you can do all of that and do your team. I play like a support-style Lucio. I don't play a Reddit-style Lucio, frequently because I just can't fucking aim. But I like to do that with my team and mess around and boop and stuff like that. I'm up on the walls, you know, sailing around. Or I'm bullying somebody. Like, frequently I'll be the one to go over and bully the Widowmaker. Is that smart? No, but a lot of times it's the only way to work it.
And it's
But no,
hilarious.
I cede the mic.
Alright, so, who's gonna come in next? There's me,
Fuck
VMG,
it.
and Grave.
I'll do mine, because I'm going to have the stupidest one ever, because you don't get forced to play this map ever. So...
No, forced. I'm pretty sure you're forced to play every map at some point.
No, this one you're not forced to play. This is a decision. So my number 5 is the practice range.
What?
That's not what I would guess. I would have thought you said Ayataya.
That?
No,
Which
okay.
I hate.
See, here's the thing. I hate the practice range. Because, like, it's a map that you're supposed to be able to practice on. Correct?
Yeah.
Look at any other first-person shooter. They have an actual good practice range. They have a practice range where you'll get better at the game if you go on there. Not shoot robots that stand still and don't shoot back at you.
That's true.
Just
I kind of
type in
thought
a
of it as
code,
like
bullheads.
this is like measurement space, really. more of a testing area for learning out new abilities and how far they go, rather than a true practice space. Or that's how I always thought of it, like that.
Yeah, I know. Like, you can play the workshop game modes and everything.
Yeah.
But, like, what if I just want to get on Overwatch and go on the practice range? Because it's called practice range. You don't get practice on here.
Yeah.
Like,
it's more of, like, the math.
like I said, it's one of the stupidest maps that anyone can hate, but I hated it.
I thought you were going to say Ayataya, because I don't like that map.
Oh shit. Ayataya.
Ayataya.
That's the
I
capture
didn't
the
think
flag
those
map,
counted,
isn't it?
so... It's a Thai one.
Okay.
The reason I don't like it is I feel like it's too big for 3v3s and stuff like that. Like, it feels massive.
What was it? Petra?
Ayutthaya.
I thought it was
Ayutthaya.
Ayutthaya.
No,
Athena fucking says it!
Yeah, Athena says Ayutthaya.
Ayatthaya.
What is this?
Ayutthaya. Oh,
don't know
okay,
what that
that's
is.
the Thai pronunciation. If maybe it's weird in the game. I don't know. But if you go to Thailand, it's Ayutthaya.
And then,
What is that?
I too hate Ilios.
No, I love Ilios.
Yes, Ilios,
I hate
That's
Ilios
really on the
well,
bottom of your
Ilios
list.
ruins, Ilios everything. Like, Ilios can go die.
I hate you.
Because I hate it because I'm a Reaper main. I'll be
that's
sitting
fair.
there. I'll
That's
teleport up above the team.
Suddenly you're
I'll
boost
have
off the
my
edge.
ult. The Mercy will be flying up to me to damage boost the Death Blossom and heal it. I jump down on the team. I start Death Blossom, and then all of a sudden you see Doomfist punch me, hog hook me, and into Oblivion I go. Or Lucio coming from 3.
You're
Like,
mistaken. That's summing up literally every map when you play fucking Reaper.
but see, that's the problem. I'm a gold player. I don't have to deal with Briggs and everything. No one's smart enough to play Brig against Reaper.
You're right. I'm awful when I
Because-
play Brig against Reaper. I just fucking
Because
die. And I'm like,
Briggs
oh,
down in gold and silver get absolutely shit on by Reaper. Unless they have a Mercy fucking
Yeah.
heal boost, and then they're immortal.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Between Inspire and healing, yeah, it's terrible.
Jesus.
And then, like, just Ilios is trash. It's too much Oblivion. And then the next map I hate. None of these are hatred as much as number 1, though. Next is Route 66. Because in Silver and Gold, damage love Bastion. And getting out of spawn while there is a bunker Bastion set up right in front of the payload is the worst thing ever. And then you go to flank, and the team has a smurfing Widow blocking off the flank. So that way that Bastion can just run freely and do whatever he wants down the main path. And so your team tries switching to counter it. And it just doesn't work. Because, again, smurfing Widows. Because they want to feel good and make themselves feel like they're good at the game. Because they know that if they were up in Plat and Diamond where they should be, they'd be getting shit on.
I mean, they're beating you, so they are good, though, right? So
I mean, I'm
you
more
can't
gold
discredit them, because they are still killing you.
player. Yes, but, I mean, skill levels, come on.
Yeah, but, you know...
And then, like, also the thing about Route 66, I feel like it's Hollywood but worse. Like,
you know what? That's true. I think you're right on that.
because, like, Hollywood, you
They're
go
very
through a
similar.
little town afterwards, and then you go into a building at the end. On both of them. So, like, I just would rather play Hollywood the entire time. It's like, you can set up Bastion on Hollywood, but it's way easier to get past than Route 66.
I would say that Hollywood is there.
And then number 2 is Busan.
Hey!
Yeah, fuck Busan! I'm glad everyone hates it.
Let's get it out of the map pool, Blizzard! If you don't take it out next season, I'm gonna kill you!
I mean, number one is just like a personal thing, but I hate Busan just because like I hate Diva.
Whoa.
I loved Diva at first, but then like I became a Reaper main, and then I jump in to do Death Blossom. There's just defense matrix in my face every single time. I haven't been able to pull off a good Death Blossom since Diva got her buff.
Are you trying to say that Diva always played on Busan? Or are you trying to say that Diva is because it's Diva's map technically? That's the thing I'm kind of confused.
Because Diva's always on Busan. It's not because it's Diva's map. I love the look of the map. Diva's
on every map though, because she is meta.
You have to remember, I'm at a lower rank than you. Just remember that.
Yeah,
just from a gold perspective.
Diva is the meta.
Maybe up there, but you don't see Diva that often unless it's on like a controlled map. Up in gold.
That's strange, because Diva there's
a lot. I see Diva Hog like way more than I want to.
Oh, I see Reinhardt
Diva Hog! What? Reinhardt Hog? Yo, what games are you guys playing?
I'm playing in gold, bud. I'm telling you.
What are you playing? Are you playing Underclock or something?
This is for me. This is mostly when I'm just fucking around with my friends, and we go into like 2-2-2 or 3-2-1, and like our tanks are like, we can't play DPS, so we're playing the DPS tanks. It's Hog and Diva time, and it's just like really frustrating. Or Hog Ball or Diva Ball, and we're like,
I'm strictly talking about competitive here.
Yeah.
Like, this is all competitive that I'm talking about.
Fair enough.
Like, Reinhardt Hog is the most common thing I've ever seen.
That's stupid.
I still like Rein Zarya.
I love a Rein Zarya comp as well.
My first character I ever played was Reinhardt, and I still want to call myself a Reinhardt main, because I'm not bad at Reinhardt.
I remember old Mercy, and what me and my friend used to do, he used to play Mercy, I used to play Reinhardt, and he just boosted me the whole entire game. It was the best thing you could possibly do as a Ryan player, because you would be there, and you would just walk into them just swinging, and then they'd all go, oh shit, and start running back, like... Trust me, old
Reinhardt
Mercy,
is daddy. That's all I'm going to say.
Old Mercy with the Reinhardt did, you cannot beat it.
That is a whole fact. I miss Old Mercy.
I give zero fucks about those first four maps. Like, I don't hate them or have a grudge on them as much as I do about number one.
Okay, let me try and guess.
Two people in this party knows what it is.
It's gonna be either Numbani or Anubis.
No. I will tell you, if you have watched any of the games that I commentated this last weekend, you will know the map.
Antarctica. I don't like Eagle Point Antarctica because it's cold.
No.
My toes get very cold on
the map I hate the most out of every map in the world is Volskaya Industries.
Yeah, I love Volskaya.
I have the ultimate hatred for this map.
So I told you, your toes get cold, don't they?
Yeah, no, that's not why. It's completely something else. So, first part is just the map sucks. Like, I love the flank routes, but the map sucks. It's terrible for defending. But the reason I hate it the most is a grudge. I have never played on that map, unless it's in quick play, where the map takes less than 12 rounds.
I disagree, but I mean, just
personally, I've never played, because that map, for some reason, has the best matchmaking I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never get less than 12 rounds. It's the worst map in existence.
I agree with that. But
and also, it's not fun to play. Like, there's no character that's fun on it.
The only thing that's good about the map is when you do some, like, crazy, like sim teleport left side up, right, left, down, Kami code.
I mean,
type
I never get a sim on the map. Everyone else is trying to push up mid. I'm like, guys, we should just flank them. They're not even paying attention. And then they're like, no, we need a sim for that. And I'm like, our other DPS is saying it's spawned as Sombra. I'm pretty sure they can switch to sim. They're like, well, why don't you switch sim? And I'm like, look at my profile. I'm a fucking Reaper one trick. They're like, then why don't you flank by yourself? And I'm like, fine, bitch, I will. And yeah, that's how gold goes.
I feel
You
like
can't get
it's like
people.
therapy right with us.
They tell you go flank by yourself, and then when you start popping off, they're like, "Oh, see, we told you it'd work." And it's like, what?
Let it all out.
And then you try talking strategy, and then it just lasts 12 rounds, and it never goes well.
I've got a question for you guys here. How many times...
And the last, like, 3 rounds all come down to who can capture first point the fastest.
Yeah, true. Now, this always happens on Volskaya, I feel like. How
And
many
then
times...
it just rehashes because everyone gets partial tick on second point after capturing first. Like, it's
so how
stupid.
many...
I hate the map. Everyone can die. If you don't hate Volskaya Industries, unfriend me.
Well, this is the reason why I reckon it's bad, right, as well, is because how many times have you guys gone, we have 3 ultimates, let's combo, and then literally nobody, like, you all just pop your ults solo, like, no one ever follows up on the combo. You're sat there like, yo, guys, don't worry, we've got EMP Nano Blades, easy win. The EMP comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the blades? Where's the blade? The blade comes out. And a whole 10 minutes later, Nano. What?
Is Charlie even here? Oh, there he is.
What is going on, BMG? I'm so confused. You're talking.
What's going on?
Oh, it's Grave. Shit, I'm so fucking out of it right now.
Yeah, no, Grave's been trying to say something. You have to just speak up louder, Grave. Like, talk into the...
I don't know. I was not being heard. Sorry.
Screw.
So it's yours turn. Whenever... If you're done, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm done.
Alright, so Grave, you or me?
Okay, I'll go. Like, I have so many maps I just don't care about. It's hard to separate them to, like, best or worst. But for number 5, I guess Route 66 is just... Every part of the map just seems like niche or just... I don't know how to describe it, really. Just seems all forms of weird, like... On first point, you go around the corner and they're always on high ground. And I also don't know how to put that shit into words, but yeah.
I always feel like the
You can see how much thought I put into this.
I mean, it's more than mine. I had practice ranges one, to be fair.
I mean, I just wrote them down, like, as we were talking earlier.
Like,
I had all mine wrote down, and I'm like, you know, I kind of don't mind these maps. Never mind.
I was thinking about it like all day, and even my first 2, I'm like,
Like, I tried thinking about it, but I just could not think of anything, because, like I said, I just do not care about any of these maps. Or any maps in general, I guess. Except, isn't Petra like,
Team,
that one Team Deathmatch desert thing? Desert map?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that because of how fucking massive it is. Like, you can go like 1 or 2 minutes and not see anybody. And then you'll see one person and go like another minute without seeing anybody.
Shatukiad.
oh, Shatukiad.
It might as well be called
I like that one.
I hate Black Forest. Like, if it's for deathmatch.
No, Black Forest is good. That's where the original Junkrat teams spawn. We just hide in the bushes.
Petra's is so massive and there's so many levels to it and so many weird areas.
I like the Black Forest.
Hard to find anybody. Yeah, Black Forest is nice. Okay, the next one would probably have to be like Havana, because like the spot's like Widowmaker. On like first point, you can hold that little balcony above first point. Second point, those windows. Not so much on third point, but first 2 points is a pain because of fucking Widow or Hanzo. Or McCree, I guess. And number 3, I guess Oasis is a nice map, but I don't like the design or the colors of it.
Once I'm done with this podcast. And then, yeah.
Yeah. It's like every time I queue into Oasis, it's like, oh fun, I get to have my eyes engulfed in pain again. Nice.
But
I like how dead it is now.
We're listening.
I am sorry, this dancing game is very, very fun.
God damn you.
I'm still playing it.
We're supposed to be doing the podcast if we want to, like...
What?
I'm saying if everybody is multitasking and doing other stuff, maybe we should get done with the podcast, or...
What she's saying is, if you're not going to put 100% in, why are you here?
Yeah,
See,
like, either we should concentrate on this and, like, finish it, or we should leave, you know, because it's done.
Yeah, I'm just listening. I'm just listening to Grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing this just because ADHD and trying
Okay,
to...
that's fair. Just...
Yeah, like, my second map had to be fucking Junkertown, because I don't know why, it just seems like Bastion, Symmetra, Homeland. Yeah, put me on the list. I do not care.
Why does everybody hate...
I love Junkertown.
I liked it at first, but then it was just Bastion Sim, but fucking Bastion Sim every time.
I understand it, but Junkertown isn't that bad though.
It's like it's not bad, but the things that people play on it just makes it bad. And there's always that one Widow on the enemy team that doesn't do anything. It's just, why are you playing Widow?
Or on your team.
It's always on your team. It's always on your team.
Oh.
I don't know. For me, it always seems like it's on the enemy team. Luckily.
Well, you're one of the lucky ones.
Is that lucky
Yes,
though?
I am. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, my last one. That'd be probably Ilios. Like,
No.
and it always comes down to that one fucking Lucio.
Yes!
And that Lucio is named Yiggs.
It's me!
Yes, Ilios fall into oblivion just like you always make us.
Perhaps, maybe a little bit. Maybe. But Lighthouse,
Why?
that's an okay map. I'll give that one a pass. But going on to like Ruins, I think was called, one with like a little small crater in the middle where Point is.
Ruins.
It's like,
Nah, Ruin's good!
it's like, where do I position myself? If I go too far back, I can't shoot at the enemy team, but I feel like if I go a little bit forward, I'm overextending us. It just feels weird, that entire map. So I'm just mostly sticking off to the right, or on that tiny bridge. And fucking well, that one fucking Lucio, I can be focused on enemy team, like getting back from spawn, whereas we're pushing in, and there's just that one fucking Lucio hiding right around the crevice as you're trying to go into point. And you see like a Orisa or Hog or McCree, and they're all shooting at you or something. You're trying to break the barrier and avoid the Hog hook, but that fucking Lucio just boops you and like 3 other people in your team into the fucking crater that covers 80% of the fucking point. It's such an inconvenience, and I hate it. And everyone plays around that fucking inconvenience. It is so annoying.
Why is everyone hating on Ilios? Why?
I would just like
I just don't like
I
the
would
middle
just
one.
like to say that the 2 Reaper mains here both hated a couple of the same maps. Might just be a thing.
like-
Yeah.
Most of my map hatreds come from the things that people play, which just makes it annoying.
Exactly.
It's like, I do well on Reaper on Milios. I do. But it's always that one fucking Lucio. Always.
Or it's the Risa Holt, or a Roadhog hooker.
That too, but it's just Lucio where I find the most trouble in, and you can't kill him because he's moving at fucking Mach 5, left and right, ups and downs. He's
So he
jumping
gets
around like a
nanoed, it's like,
fucking jumping
who's worse
bean.
than Lucio? Oh!
And yes, there's hogs and Risses, there are also inconveniences, but just a Lucio. And that's also the one map where I find, like, the best top 10 widows. Just pinging heads left and right. Fuck you, McCree. Fuck you, Reaper. Fuck you, Mercy.
See, once I start dying on Reaper on that... Yeah, see, when I started playing Reaper on that map, and I noticed I'm just getting booped in the well multiple times, I tried becoming one of those top 10 widows just to kill the Lucio. And then I kill the Lucio, I feel so satisfied, I switch back to Reaper, and then I just get booped in the hole again. I'm like, oh.
I don't even know what to do against that widow, because they're like... they're in like fucking Europe while I'm in Canada. It just seems like they're that far away. It's just such a hassle to get to them. And all the while, I'm just leaving my team to fucking die or whatever is going on.
Not just that, or you like get to the widow and then you know she has a mercy on her.
Exactly. Or he just like uses her fucking grappling hook to lock onto her tank's ass and just flies away.
It's like, oh, you wanted me? See ya.
Oh, alright. Well,
But, and also one point, Yiggs, I love you, but isn't that great when you get like a boop off and you laugh at the top of your lungs like it's yes, I'm trying to kill the McCree, but then it's not a bad thing.
Are you objecting to me laughing, the volume of my laughing, or me booping the McCree out of your way?
Oh no, you could like
all of it.
No, it's just the
Not tell me to
sudden...
hate, you have to clarify.
No, it's just the suddenness and the volume of the laughter that just jolts me like the fuck.
I'm
What
just
fucking
driving you
happened?
with my
Who's
mirth.
that?
It's not a bad thing, but Jesus.
Is it?
I don't know. I would just tell you to turn my mic down because I have no other idea how to.
No, it's alright. Just a friendly jab, I guess.
Is it the Totodile's turn now?
I am so tired.
I feel that.
Alright, so, like I was saying earlier, like a lot of people, a lot of these maps for me, I really don't have too much against. Like, there isn't any map that I would ever be like, oh, I just cancel out the queue, I don't want to play on this map. Like, I like each map in their own regard, but there's certain maps that I just don't like for various reasons. So, the first two have a very special term in regards to me when it comes to maps. And it's just because of, like, when I'm playing and what tends to happen on these maps. So, the first one, they're kind of share 5 and 4. I'll say Nepal and Rialto. They could literally go either way, 5 or 4. And I call them bullshit maps.
I feel that.
So, for whatever reason, whenever I'm playing on Nepal or Rialto, what tends to happen is my team is like, we're popping off and we're doing everything right. Suddenly, we lose the team fight. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Wait, how did we? Wait!
Yeah, your team could have like a 3-point lead or kill lead, and then you just get wiped the fuck out by
we've
something.
We've killed 5 people on their team, and we're starting to cap. Suddenly, all I see is red, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Blizzard just kills the eradicate your fucking team button.
And then I'm like, how did we lose that fight? We were up. How did we lose? It happens way too often on those two maps, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't I get a team that actually wins the fight when we win it?
That'd be too easy for you.
Exactly.
The next map for me, which I'm already jumping to number 3 because I already explained with Nepal and Rialto. For me, number 3 is Hollywood. I hate Hollywood.
I love Hollywood.
Why have you done this to me?
So Hollywood with me is from what my experience is, first point and third checkpoint are so hard to push into. So hard to push first and third. That's just my experience. Because I can break through it pretty easily, but the rest of my fucking team can't. They're getting held by a fucking Widow or a fucking Ashe that's just standing on the high ground and going uncontested. So I switch to Lucio. I go to contest them, and my team still can't fucking break through when the Widow is dead. And I'm like, what? Like, it's just... It's like... I feel like I just have bad luck whenever I get put on the Hollywood. That I get paired with an incompetent team that doesn't know how to fucking push.
It does seem like a roll of the dice on that map most of the time.
And now we're getting into the maps that I know everyone expected to be on people's lists.
Paris and Horizon.
Hey.
The two of my favorite maps.
Actually, you have the exact order. Number 2 is Paris. Fuck Paris. So, Paris, I feel, is so defender-friendly. You cannot push into Paris. No matter what you do, you cannot push into Paris.
It's just like how the French want it.
See, that's
they
the bad
don't
part.
want to
Being
surrender.
in gold, I don't feel the pain you guys do.
So point 1 on Paris. No matter what you do, you're gonna lose point 1 at some point. It is 9 times out of 10 you are going to lose point A. But you get into point B and you're like, well, we won.
Just go hammering for it. You just
the second
win.
point.
Nothing they can
See,
do.
in gold, do you want to know how you get past the defenders on first point? You go Sombra while they're holding the choke, take the above the building on the left before the choke, and just run behind.
That's the only fucking way.
Do you want me to tell you? No. Do you want me to tell you how you do it?
It always works in gold.
You know
because
like
the defenders will never look behind them at point getting capped.
You know the roof on the left-hand side.
People are so stupid in gold.
Oh God,
including myself.
I'm just listening to Sig.
Okay. So you may wall on the left, right on the roof, and then you sim up when everyone speeds onto the point. And that's how you play it, baby. That's how you're playing the video game. And that's how you get on to first
But the fact that you need to use Sombra or May?
And Sim, don't forget Sim, she's important.
Like you've got to use the bullshit characters to fucking push onto point B.
We heard it here. He just called Sombra a bullshit character.
Sombra? Okay. Me admitting Sombra is bullshit doesn't mean that I hate her. I love that she's bullshit.
He likes the fresh smell of the farm.
And then number one is what everyone thought it would be, fucking Horizon.
Kings Row.
I don't want. Why does everyone play on Horizon? I don't think it's that bad.
Horizon sucks, okay?
I don't think it's as bad as everyone
it.
says it is.
Listen.
Okay, the first point's hell, but the second point's actually fun.
Yeah, the first point is so hell that most of the time you don't even get to see point B.
No, I reckon most of the time you see point B unless you're NYXL against Philadelphia and you literally throw the game.
I feel like in terms of why people hate the map, they hate it for the same reason that people hate Paris. Because it's very defender friendly.
Do you want me to tell you why the reasons are? People are still like PTSD over old Horizon because old Horizon didn't have
talking
cover.
great, by the way.
My PSN is screwed. Hold on.
Don't worry, I can't hear him either.
Keep going, Seg.
So old Horizon, right? That never ever had cover. So people are all still like scared of old Horizon. They've still got the PTSD from old Horizon to the point now where it's just a joke, just a slat. Horizon Lunar Colony. When in my opinion, I don't think it's that bad. I think what Horizon has tried to do was it tried to take like a map and try and switch the meta on a map only. Rather than being like, hey guys, let's nerf this goats comp. Let's bang man, let's slam out this comp, right? What they did is they're like, let's make a map that literally goats comp won't like. Because that map is a dive map, and there's nothing else about that, right? And I think that's exactly what they try to do. Is they try to make, because this is the thing, right? Everyone's been asking this for ages and ages.
There we go.
Is map specific metas, right? They always want like you to go on a map and you're like, oh, you have to play this comp. This is the meta on this map, right? That's what everyone's been asking for, and that's exactly what they did with Horizon. People wanted an altercation, so what did they do? They made Horizon that was a dive map. But funny enough, now we got it. Everyone complains, but everyone's still like, we want meta Pacific maps, which doesn't make any sense. People don't know what they want. They say one thing, then when Blizzard gives it to them, they're just like, no, that's not what we wanted. Get out! And now Horizon's a joke.
Oh,
And listen, if it was so unbalanced, yeah, why would they still be playing it in Overwatch League?
I'm not saying that it's unbalanced. I'm just saying it's bullshit.
Yeah, but if it was a bad map, or if it was unbalanced, or there was something wrong with the map, or anything like that, yeah, or it was unfun to play, why would it be in Overwatch League? Why would they wanna, like, even if you're saying, yeah, oh, it's a map in the game, they have to play it, right? Why would you, yeah, a company who's trying to get people to watch your game, yeah, bring in the money because you're sponsors, using the numbers you get on your live stream, why would you put that map pool into the game if it was that boring?
Yeah,
you're trying to tell me that people will sit there and go, oh, it's Horizon Lunar Colony, let me turn off that. They won't. Nobody cares. But the thing is that everyone, it's such a common thing now to just slot Horizon Lunar Colony because everyone just thinks, oh, it's Horizon Lunar Colony, it's the joke map of Blizzard. No one actually sits there and looks at it and goes, what are the actual problems of Horizon Lunar Colony? And the exact reasons of the exact problems with Horizon Lunar Colony is because it's a comp that no one plays anymore. It's the only comp you can play on that map. And that's why everyone complains.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Horizon is just fucking pain to push first point. Then you push point B, and then if you can get 5 people onto that point, it's over.
Yeah, no, I would say that in like a comp environment, I think it's trash. I believe you on that. But like, I think like competitively, like as in like coordinated teams, I don't think it's that bad.
No, yeah, no. If your team's coordinated, then you can easily push into Horizon. It is, but that's like every map though. If your team has good coordination, you're not losing.
Yeah, but there's some maps like Hanamura which you can defend without team coordination because it's common sense, right? It's very easy to defend. But like something like Horizon, like that is one of those things that like people don't communicate on, and if you aren't all diving and following the same person, and you're all split, one's left, one's right, one's going down, one's going up, one's going left, middles of Narnia, one's going inside the bookcase on the right hand side, one's in space, one's on Earth, one's on Mars, one's on a different bloody planet that we've never even heard of before. Yeah. Like, if that's happening, then you ain't getting nowhere in life. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't really hate any of these maps. They're just my least favorite. I just don't particularly care for them. but it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna leave the game because it's Horizon. It's like, no, I'm gonna fucking play Horizon because I'm gonna win. Horizon isn't that bad. I mean, I think it's one of the weaker maps, but it's not that bad.
I mean, I think they need to look at it. You get what I mean? Like, they need to look into what makes that terrible. And like I said, it's the exact reason of you're playing a comp that you don't play usually, so when you actually go on the map, it's boring because you're just like, how do I even play what I'm supposed to be playing? So you just get confused and lost, and you just end up pretty much feeding the whole entire game because you don't know what you're doing and how to play against it, because no one actually wants to take the time to look into it because they're just like, oh, Horizon's a joke map. Even if that map comes out, I'm not going to try because I don't care. It's Horizon.
Alright. Well, with that, let's go into a nice, heated discussion on that experimental mode that's out right now. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now, yeah? Blizzard! I want you to listen to this, because I think that I should be the one developing your game, because you have no clue. Now listen, Blizzard, okay? There's one mess I want you to... If there's anything you take from me today, okay, I want you to remember one thing, right? What you're essentially doing is saying, hey guys, that game you have been playing for the last 4 years, let's throw everything you've learned out the window, right? That's number one. Now, here's the other thing. Let's do this, shall we? See, I think this would be smart, right? In my opinion, yeah, I think instead of moving all the off tanks to main tanks, why don't we move all of the off tanks to the damage slots, but only have one of the off tanks? That makes any sense. So essentially, you can have 3 DPS, because let's be real, yeah, if a DPS player is playing tank, they're going to be playing an off tank, because it's like a DPS tank, right? So,
pretty much.
I think that you should be able to have 3 DPS and a main tank, but you should also have the option of an off tank. I think the game should be in 1-1-2-2. 1 flex between tank and damage, 2 damage, 2 support. Now, here's the thing, right? You're forcing and you're putting so much pressure on that main tank, right? Let's look at this, right? Already, the main tank's job is stressful. He's got to track the other main tank's ult. He's got to worry about his team, with damages coming in, flankers. He's got to worry about landing ults, all this sort of different stuff, being able to go aggressive when to pull out, all this, that, and the other. And now you're adding an additional pressure, right? Yeah. Not only are you saying peel damage to this main tank, so your main tank gets stuck, right? Let's say that, yeah, your main tank gets stuck. The off tank is supposed to peel the main tank so the main tank can get out, right? With basically taking less damage as possible, right? So they don't get ults, right? Now, what have you done here, Blizzard? Oh, main tanks. So we've heard your complaints about how stressful it is on your job. So
we're gonna make it more stressful.
Well, no, the thing is, they've gone, all that damage that you were taking originally, right? And then your off-tank was there, and they're gone, hey, let me slow down that damage a little bit so you can play aggressive, do whatever, reset, whatever, right? Oh, let's remove that, and let's add a bit more damage into you! Because why the fuck not? Let's just go, hey, main tanks, right? You already struggle to live. If we just slab a little bit more damage onto you, I'm sure that won't hurt. Now, may I also add the fact that they have recently gone in and they have destroyed healers, right? If you look at healers, what they're trying to do, right, is, because if you notice, any meta is always formed around the tanks. What Blizzard are trying to do, right, they're trying to get rid of the effectiveness of tanks by lowering the shields, That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the game not dependent on the tanks. and they're trying to make tanks not as like stompy as they were before, right? Because before, like in Goats Comp, as we saw, it was all about keeping your Reinhardt. Your Reinhardt would just walk into them, slam. That's what they're trying not to do. So that's why they nerfed the supports, because they know without any healing, the Reinhardt can't go in there and start just chopping up everyone, right? I mean, and as any tank, right? What can you do when you've got free DPS firing into you? And can you imagine if it was a Hanzo, Junkrat, or Sombra, or just spammy characters? How are you supposed to main tank? There is so much damage being spammed into you that your supports can't heal because they've been nerfed to the ground. They can't keep you up as it is. They couldn't keep you with an off tank. Mine's without one. So I don't know where Blizzard expect you to all of a sudden just be able to handle all this pressure and then sort of exert all the energy back at their team, because effectively what you're doing is you're just making the main tank a meat shield. He isn't doing anything bar just being there. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because,
I personally have enjoyed the pressure from the experimental mode. Because, before I picked up the game again, I was a Reinhardt person. There'd only ever be one Reinhardt on the team. Only one tank. Way back when. You would never get two tanks on a team.
Right. But
so, I've always enjoyed the pressure of being the only tank.
Okay. Now, I want to tell you this, yeah? Tell me how fun this sounds, yeah? Hanzo, Junkrat, Sombra, Brigitte, Reinhardt. All in your face as a Reinhardt player. How fun does that sound to you? Now, I want you to listen to this, right?
There's no way you're surviving that. There is
your
absolutely
shield
no
is
way.
breaking. If your shield doesn't break, you're going to get hacked. And even if you don't get hacked, the Reinhardt's going to slam through your shield because he's got a hammer. And Brigitte is. You ain't surviving.
If you had an off tank, you might survive.
That's the thing. You're acting like you're alone.
No, not even if you're alone. If you have both your supports trying to pocket your ass, you're still not surviving because there's nobody else to mitigate that damage.
You're acting like at that time there's going to be 5 people on 3 people. That's only going to happen if
that happens quite often.
Because listen,
you're acting like the 3 DPS are always going to fall, so it's just going to be 2 healers and 1 tank.
The DPS
listen, I want you to listen to this.
Reinhardt.
On defense, right, when you play DPS or healers, you play far back in a safe position of safety because you don't want to be with your tank because your tanks are going to take that spam damage, which is what you want. So if I've got a Widowmaker, she's going to be playing back. If I got an Ana, she's going to be playing back. Yes, I'm going to have damage that's going to help me, but let's just put it this way. If the Reinhardt's holding a shield, right, and I've got all these hit scan DPS, right? All that damage, bang, 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 bang. I've then got a Brigitte slamming me. I've got a Junkrat slamming me. I've got a Hanzo breaking my back. I've got a Sombra hacking me. You see what I mean? What I'm saying is, the game is built in a way that cheese always wins, right? You cannot beat a cheese comp, right? We all know this. We all know, we're losing, let's pull out the Bastion. We're losing, let's pull out the Sombra. We're losing, let's pull out the Nano Blade, right? Because these things, we know are going to work. So, what I'm trying to say is that even though there's multiple people that can help you or start firing into those barriers, I understand that, and I get where you're coming from.
Well, see, I'm not against the 1-3-2. What I think they should do, because, they buffed the tanks to be main tanks. But I don't think the problem is the fact that it's only one tank. I think the problem with the mode is the healers, not the tanks or the damage.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that
they buffed the tanks, but they didn't rebuff the healers. So the tanks are basically just feeders. Is what we're trying to get at.
That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is the amount of
certain
damage.
Tanks, like the new Roadhog with his rebreather,
he can't main tank.
He does not feel like a tank, in my opinion. He feels more like a support than a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A support with way too much health.
Don't even get me started on Zarya. She is pretty much a DPS.
I love Zarya though. I'm a DPS player and I love the Zarya. She's so
Zarya, you literally cannot do anything to her. Like, what other tank counters her, right? Well, D.Va, right? She can go through your defense matrix. She can literally get 100 charge off of your ult, right? Using a single ability. Okay, moving on. Hog, if your team gets hooked, bang, Zarya bubble. They're free to come out, right? Reinhardt, what are you going to do? Just hold your barrier all day? Like, no. Like, you're going to die by Zarya, right? Simple as. If you let's look into more. I'm trying to think.
Winston is just
Winston. No. I mean, literally, how the meta is right now.
By everything, you can't play Winston anymore.
I mean, if you get dived, if your team gets dived, bang. Listen, I want to listen to this, right? That person gets bubbled, right? That's giving you charge, which means you do more damage. Not only that, Winston has just used his one ability to get out of a battle, to get into battle, which means he has no way to get out, which means it's easy pickings for your DPS, right? And you're most likely been running a Reaper, right? Or a Tracer or something like that will melt a Winston. So, at the end of the day, it's one of those things that are like, you can't build something. This is says you can't build something that doesn't have a core. What I'm trying to say is that the core of the game, right, has always been play around your main tank, play around that shield, stick with them, right? They're the anchor tank, right? But you're just removing that element of just stick together. And I kind of understand that they've tried, because if you notice this now, yeah, all of the off tanks, right, they're being moved up to main tank. Notice how all their abilities favour people being bunched together, Roadhogs, Zaryas, because what they've done, right, and this is their fear, that they don't want a meta where the off tanks are just a dumber DPS, and then there's 4 DPS and 2 supports, right? Because that's exactly how it feels, and that's why they've tried to add the ability of, hey, if you're all bunched together, then the tanks will help you more, right? Which means more team play in a sense, but that also means one thing, which is basically almost a little bit like a dive brawl comp in the sense of, well, I'm just going to just run in there and just melt one of your targets and then come out because I have that ability to do that, right? Because as far as the game's aware, right, you can attack anyone and be fine with the new Zarya. All 5 of your teammates can go in on a target. If they get low, you bubble them, Lucio can get them out.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
And then Zarya has fucking 100% charge from 2 seconds. Yeah. Like,
and then
if they wanted to make it where Zarya wasn't as damagey, yeah, they took it where max charge she can get is what, from 40 down to 30? It should be down to like 15 per bubble. Not
No, I don't
30.
I don't think they need to touch the tanks. They need to buff the supports if they're gonna keep this.
Well, I'm saying if they want people like Zarya and whatnot to be a main tank, Zarya is way too damagey to be a main tank.
What I'm going to say this, yeah, is that if they were to buff the healers in this state, we wouldn't go into, oh, look at me, I'm a main tank, everyone play around me. We would go into, okay, guys, we're going to speed onto this target. Zarya's going to bubble us when we get into danger. We're going to come out and just rinse and repeat. We're just going to build ults constantly. That's how the game will feel. It'll feel like 4 DPS and 2 supports. Because that's how it favours it. Like, if you think about it, right, Reinhardt cannot go into a team and get out safely, right? He needs a Zarya for that.
Yeah, he has 0 survivability.
But if Zarya... This is the reason why you couldn't do this before, right? Because if you think about it, even if you have a Zarya in your team, right, 1 DPS can go in there, in the back line, you can bubble them, that teammate can come out fine, right? Okay, that's whatever, right? That makes sense, right? But now you've given all 5 of the teammates barriers. And if all those barriers go, you've given Zarya damage. 100 damage, if that.
If you count the overdraft, it's 150%. Like,
do you guys want to know my biggest concern with this?
Yeah.
Before the update came out, I was reading a report that Jeff Kaplan had made as to why they're introducing this. And the only reason that they're introducing this is they want to cut down on DPS queue times. That's it! That's the only reason they did this in the first place. And I'm like, Are you a fucking idiot? You know why DPS queue times are as high as they are? You've got a massive player base, and 80% of the characters in this game are DPS. So majority of the people are going to be picking DPS because that's where their character is. If you add more supports, you add more tanks, DPS queue times will decrease because there's more characters in the other roles.
Though.
No, you know
that's
what's the
not
problem?
why. DPS, it just feels fun to play because how often do you see a tank get a 6k in the kill feed?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's more fun to play a DPS. You don't want to sit there as a support and start holding R2 into your team. Who the hell wants to do that? You don't want to be playing main tank and holding L2, holding up your shield for your team. Who the hell wants to do that? We want to get in there. We want to start doing damage. We want to start killing, dude. I'm playing an FPS, for God's sake. I want to get kills. I want to do stuff. I want to sit there behind my team holding L2, R2. It's not... The problem is that main tanks and... just tanks and supports, they aren't fun to play. It's as simple as that. If they were more... Like, you get me? There's more selection in DPS as well. Like, you've got all, like, these different, like, cool little heroes that literally all have special, nice abilities. If you think about it, tanks, what do they have? They have 2 characters that literally negate damage. They have two shield tanks, right? They have a ball that just rolls. Dude, they have a monkey who places down a dome barrier, who just leaps. What is innovative about
and
that?
Gets really mad.
Dude, I want to play as some crazy psycho blimmin' rat man that literally has bombs and wants to bloody place you in a trap and blow you up. And if he dies, he bloody drops bombs everywhere. Dude, name a tank that's that cool. There is none.
Yeah, but like you're saying, it's more fun to play DPS, but now you bring in the 3-2-1 meta, or 3-2-1, and with the current state of the supports, it's gonna be even less fun to play as a support. Yes, the tanks are more survivable. I'm not saying that the tanks aren't good. They are powerhouses. I was playing Roadhog, and I was not having any issues surviving. But thinking as a support player, I was like, I feel so bad for these supports because everyone's just dying left and right.
Opinion as a support player with this. In playing in the experimental roles, and even when I played with like 5 friends, one of the biggest problems we had was you came to thinking about the game in a different team way. Whereas in the 2-2-2 setup that we have and know and love, you know, you've got your 2 tanks and they can protect each other somewhat. So the support doesn't have to ride their ass. They're hopefully protecting each other and doing some stuff. DPS are going to do their own stuff. You know, maybe one's flanking or whatever, but as a support, frequently you are going to be doing some amount of running back and forth, especially if your party isn't like a death ball. I find that can be hard to manage already in 2-2-2 while you're trying to keep people alive, you know, especially if nobody is committing the sin of running off and truly flanking, and then those people are on their own. But think about a point battle where you've got 2 tanks flying around and 2 tanks, and they're pretty stationary. You can leave them alone for a while and come back, or if one is getting shot at, it's pretty big. But you have, you know, maybe the DPS are shooting at each other or whatever, or you're trying to shoot the supports, but you've got these 2 tanks who can kind of alternate position, and, you know, their combined health pool makes it a little easier. One of the things I've seen with 3-2-1 is we get this. We get the support, main support has got to stay with your tank because now there's only one of them, and essentially the double tank health pool together of when they swapped in and out, you know, to be the kind of taking the heat or the aggro, if you will, the support could swap with them. This time it's only one, so that health pool has been brought down, and you have 3 DPS focusing that one tank. Your supports have to be able, because this is a game where it becomes protect the king, where the tank is what matters. Now, playing with it in experimental is, I'm sure, this is just sampling of random people. I have had top 500s in my matches, and I have had bronze players. But here's what I find out. You get a lot of DPS that are kind of what they have been used to, have been sort of near the tank or kind of in the area, and their support flying over to them, maybe Mercy, if you're Mercy, to damage boost them, and give them the support, though they're not just deathballing with the team. Doing that or flanking somewhat and being able to come back a little bit. This is very much where these DPS are going to have to be hyper aware of their health and they're going to have to run back in line with the support. It's no longer the support feels okay with leaving the tank for a while to go somewhere else. That support has got to have their eyes on the tank first and foremost. So if the DPS and the tank are getting attacked, sorry, she's not staying with you. She's going to the other tank, because that's who's got to stay up.
Yeah, like, it's created a scenario that if the first pick of that fight is your tank, you've lost the fight. You've lost. Mm-hmm. Just period. There isn't another tank for you to start mitigating that damage and help clean things up if the fight is still possible. No, you lose that one tank, you're done, and you need to pull back.
That's one of the things I've noticed with this, is that, playing with it, I don't think it's a bad thing. I like the tank changes. I don't know as much about those because I haven't, tank queue was like $20, 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm not dealing with that.
It's down to like 2 minutes now that everyone's like,
okay,
oh, I don't want to play
when I first got
now.
on, it was really high.
Yeah, I mean, but that's because everyone wanted to play buff tanks.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But, like, the kind of thing I'm noticing is that, I'm sorry, DPS mains. It is going to put a lot of onus on the DPS mains to actually have to play intelligently. Rather than just doing whatever the fuck they want, now they've got to learn positioning that relies less on, can I kill the other guy faster? I bet I can, so you don't have to worry about it as much. This is going to be, you can't all just run these forward-running DPS, these flanking DPS simply because there's 3 of you. You are going to be, if you're doing that, you're going to be doing that without support, competing against your own friend, also doing that without support, while the other DPS, stays around the tanks. One DPS is going to have to be a pseudo tank and basically works as tank protector, support protector, whereas the other 2 can kind of do what they want, but it's going to force DPS to have to actually, for the first time, pay attention to where the fuck their teammates are. You need to know where your support is, and how I know that this is not the way most people play. I frequently get calls for having people angry at me that I'm not healing them. Well, I died before you ran in. You have got to be aware of the positioning of your supports and your tanks, because in that mode, it wasn't happening. It was, I'm expected to be healed there. And I'm like, no, I can't go that far from our tank who's under attack. And then I've got to protect myself. You are a distant possibility unless you get your ass back here. It's a different way of thinking about the game. Not necessarily a bad way, but DPS in 222 get away with a lot of positioning mistakes and a lot of team play mistakes. It doesn't matter as much, the support of as long as the DPS are getting kills, and whatever with them, your positioning, your strategic thinking or whatever, the intelligent play of the game is all tanks and supports. DPS don't really have to do shit. Go to this one, DPS now have a lot more responsibility to be intelligent and strategic, and that's going to be a little tough.
I mean, from my playtime on it, I've also felt that, some of the DPS now are just unplayable. Because, such as Reaper. I'm a Reaper main, and I went on to this experimental mode, and I'm like, I can't play him anymore. Because, with Reaper, you didn't care who you picked a fight with, you just had to always know where an enemy tank was to heal. Now that there's only one tank, if that tank falls and you're trying to fight 3 DPS, you better hope all 3 of them aren't focusing you. Because if you're the only one fighting them, you're fucked. Unlike before, you could just, ooh, here's a health pack for me, aka tank.
And all those...
That's also
all those people that complain about pocketing, you are absolutely going to deal with a pocketed tank constantly. Every game. That Mercy, that Moira is going to be on that tank's ass. And he is going to protect her. It is no longer, because when you play in 222, quite frequently the Mercy is attached to a damage boosting DPS. And perhaps the secondary healer, a Lucio, or whomever is just wherever they need to be. In this mode, you are going to have your Ana, your Moira, your Mercy are going to be stuck on that tank's ass constantly. That means, for the enemy team, that means they've got to get to them. But for your own team, that means you've got to learn to live without supports, or you're going to have to come back. Because I normally, as supports, at least in the level I play, we go out to our DPS, assuming they're not, stupid far away. Mm-hmm. But and what I mean by that is they're far enough away to where you can fly to them, do things. And then, once you see your tanks being attacked, they can survive a little bit while you fly back. you can't do that with just one tank because they're not going to survive without you attached to their ass. So you don't have time to go up there, boost that, and heal that DPS. They're going to have to find health packs, or in the moment, they got to come down to you. And I think that's
the only tank that can actually sit there and take damage like that is Roadhog.
It's Hog.
Yeah,
Hog's the only one that has that survivability.
The bad part with Hog that I've noticed is, like, when I'm playing Hog, I feel like when I use Rebreather, I have to be like, oh, Rebreather down here, come get healed. Like, Hog just doesn't feel like a tank. Like, with that AoE healing and damage reducing, it's like, I feel like you should be a support.
I feel like, well, I don't know about that. I feel like there's a lot more potential in the Hog fart, and just we don't know how to use it properly right now. I think that you can almost use that as a defensive ult if the damage reduction is big enough. Things like that. I think
it's only 25% though. So like,
well,
it still helps him tank through a Demon Bomb.
That's still, that with Sound Barrier. If you get Grav Dragons, is that enough? I don't know because I've not tested it. But I think that there's a lot of potential with that particular move. With Hog being like a support tank or like a Paladin. You know what I mean?
And then it's also it's also the point that, like, Sig was bringing up. Like, you're playing on Reinhardt, and yes, there's gonna be other people on your team. Like, not everyone might be on your team, but everybody on the enemy team is going to be focusing that tank.
Yeah, I played Reinhardt on the experimental card. I didn't mind it.
It's not that the tank may not mind it. It's more of the fact that you're not going to survive. If at least 4 people on that enemy team decide we're taking you down, you're not walking away. You are not, and your team is going to lose that fight. Period. Like, you're not going to walk away from that. Even though may have both supports and all 3 DPS trying to help you, you're not surviving.
True, but the same thing goes the other way around. So
yeah, but you're trying desperately to survive because they're pushing onto you. You're not really focused at that moment on, I'm going to take out their tank. You're not going to do that. You're going to be like, I need to get out of here. And once that mindset gets into play, you've lost. You can't push in against the team that's already pushing you. So, the same goes for the other team. If you decide to push onto them, but once they've started pushing you, you've lost. You're dead.
Well,
you're not walking away.
Only reason I mentioned anything about it was because he was saying, like, it's the opposite of what we've known for the last 4 years, and that's not completely true. Like, when you first started playing Overwatch, what teams did you usually have? It was usually 1 tank, 1 support, 4 DPS.
Yeah, and it was fucking hell, and that wasn't until more recently, until before 222 came out. Prior to GOAT's meta, the games I would run into was generally 222, because people would just go 222.
Most games I ran into were 1-4-1.
That was, for me, it wasn't until recently that happened. And that was, like, right after GOATs that I started running into, oh, shit, I'm a solo healer with a solo tank. That's why I have to go Moira, because I've got 4 dumbass DPS that decide I'm gonna be DPS and be the big shot, because Overwatch League shows that DPS can be the big shots. Like, that's the only reason that I started running into 1-1 and 4. 222 I thought was a saving grace, because I knew I had another tank, or I knew I had another support, and I wasn't going to be the solo person that had to carry this team because the DPS aren't holding up.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's also perspective of skill levels of play and everything, so. Like, where I was playing wouldn't be anything compared to the comps you were seeing where you were playing.
Yeah, it's...
Like, 222 was, like, the best thing that ever happened, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it made everyone viable.
Yeah, and I think it put this game into a great place. I think 3-2-1 is going to destroy this game again like GOATs did.
But at the same time, I also have to say that some of the comps that came out 2-2-2 were not good. Like, they were not fun to play against.
That's how it was in the early days! That's literally how it was! You would always run into comps that you fucking hated to go against. Why do you think I hate playing against Symmetra so much?
Poor Symmetra.
Like it's not 3-2-1, 2-2-2. No matter what it is, you're gonna run into comps that you fucking hate to play against because they are that strong. That is why there is a meta. That is the literal definition of the meta. Is these are compositions that are so strong that they have a much higher chance of winning.
Well, in Overwatch's case, it's not winning, it's more value. You can play anyone, but, like, the meta characters, you're guaranteed to get more value than if you were to not use a meta character.
Yeah. Like, so no matter what composition you're gonna get, it's not gonna solve the problem. That's why it pisses me off that they're only thinking about doing 3-2-1 just because they want to decrease DPS queue times. You know what I say? Fuck the queue times. If you want to play DPS, that's the price you play. You might have to wait a while. Oh fucking wow! Like I play all 3 roles. I go on to DPS and I'm like, I might be waiting here for 10 minutes. Oh well, I'll do something else while I wait. Like, that's the literal reason why they added the while you wait feature. That's the reason that they've started giving out loot boxes and credits for playing tank or support. Like,
yeah, but that's the problem with those. Like, if you have a DPS player playing tank or support just because they get a loot box, is that really what you want on your team?
No, and I'm not saying it's a perfect solution. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that 3-2-1 is just catering it to the DPS that are just like, well, I just don't want to wait that long. Well, then play something else. You don't have to play DPS. And if you want to play DPS, the price you pay is you might have to wait a while. Boo-hoo! Like, tell me, you're a DPS player. How much do you actually hate having to wait like 5 minutes to play?
I never have to wait 5 minutes.
Exactly!
Well, no, okay, here's the thing. When it comes to this is hitting the higher tier players. Because higher tier DPS players wait way longer than I would. I get into matches 2 minutes, if that. Like, in gold and silver, your match queue times are quick as fuck.
Depends,
like, I could go queue up for all 3 roles right now, and all mine are 3 minutes right now.
But chances are you're going to be queued on the tank or support.
Hey,
I get queued in the damage quite a bit, too.
It's been, like, almost, like, an hour 20, so I need to get going.
Alright, I'll see you, Yigs.
That's okay. I'll see you guys later. You keep going for it.
Yeah, well, I'll message you about possibly doing the Quiplash or Jackbox stuff tonight with everybody again.
Yeah. Let me know. Sounds good.
But, like, so where I'm sitting right now is
oh, sorry. If you want me back in for something, I'll be around. I have things I've got to do. But you can text me and I'll jump back in.
Yeah. But, like...
Okay, cheers.
So I'm currently ranked because I'm near Platinum, and I'm run into those times where I'm sitting here waiting 10, 12 minutes to queue for DPS, because it's that, literally, once you hit high gold, you're going to be sitting there for 10, 12 minutes, and the way I see it, I decided to queue for DPS. So I'm going to wait here for 10 minutes, and I fully know that. Like, every fucking DPS knows at this point now that you queue for DPS and you're gonna be waiting a while. And it's literally only like masters and GM players that are like, oh, waiting is so long to wait.
Like, I mean, if I do have to wait, I do say waiting is annoying. But the only reason yeah, like, it's annoying, but it's not like, oh, I'm going to stop playing DPS just because I have to wait 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, if I'm going into competitive to play DPS, I'm probably going to go grind SR, which I already know is going to take me hours, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going in there thinking, oh, every 15 minutes I'll be in a new game. Like, I'll be 400 SR up in an hour. Like,
yeah, you already know it's going to take you a while. Like, why worry about the queue time at that point if you're already prepared for the long haul.
Like, I've been seeing people saying that they love this because they're having supports that actually play support, tanks that actually play tank, because DPS players are going back to DPS role instead of going and throwing on other roles just because it's a fast queue time. That I can understand people not liking.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand you hating that your DPS player is playing Moira and throwing your fucking platinum fucking competitive match. I get it. But, like, it's just one of those things, too.
I think 3-2-1 is going to break this game. I think 2-2-2 is the way that it should remain. It works. It fucking works. You know you're gonna have supports. You know you're gonna have tanks, and you know you're gonna have DPS. Even if you have that one support that may be an actual DPS player, but they wanted a shorter queue time, you've got another support there that can pick up the slack. Then you also have the two tanks that have a massive health pool, that even if both supports aren't holding their weight, the tanks can still survive pretty well because they can be there for each other. In this current state, if you've got a support...
But it's not just that, though. What you remember is that now, if you really think about it, I ain't loading into a game and someone's like, oh, today I want to play damage, right? And he's a GM tank player, but he wants to play damage. Well, he can play damage in platinum if he's a platinum damage, without me worrying that because this guy randomly wants to play damage, I don't have to suffer my ass out.
Exactly. If they don't play that role, that role is probably a lot lower than their main role. So, if I did a DPS one trick that wants a shorter queue time so they go to support, chances are they're probably not going to end up in my game. Because that is probably going to be a lot lower than where I am. And if it does end up with me, that probably means that DPS player is most likely a diamond, so they have a better understanding of this game, so they can still hold their own and support.
I let Ewok get on my account because I kept telling them, oh, well, the supports just throw down here in silver and gold, and, like, you can never get anything done and get out of Elo. Because he saw that my tank was, like, 1200. He's like, oh, let me get on your account and try this. He played 5 games of competitive. Out of those 5, he lost 3 of them. And he's like, even me being a high-tier player, I can't do this in this low because healers don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. But that's also silver and low
that
gold.
Was also
like,
gold.
It's...
Yeah, and high bronze. Like, just... If you're stuck in that, you're stuck in it forever.
Those are the points where people don't really understand this game. And I understand that. But switching to 3-2-1 isn't going to fix that. It's going to make it worse. Because you're not going to have that backup. You're going to have everybody queuing for DPS. Now you got 3 DPS that are doing whatever the fuck they want. Because this is bronze, silver, and low gold. And your tank is left in the high end, and that's high and dry, with the supports that are desperately trying to keep him up, because you got that one Smurf, the one Smurf that knows what they're doing, and they are targeting your ass. So, it's not going to help. Even though it may cut down on DPS queue times, it's going to put this game into a worse state because of it. Yes.
Yeah, and the problem is, like, if you look at the queue times, DPS is still higher than the other ones.
Exactly,
like 2
because
minutes.
so many people play DPS. It's the only way they're really going to cut down on DPS queue time is they make it everybody's playing DPS.
I think the only way they're going to cut down on DPS queue times is if they move some of the DPS players to other areas and change up some of their abilities. Like Soldier, you could turn him into a decent support character.
Easily.
Mei, you could change her into a decent tank.
So
she has that ability. Like, if they want to fix this game, they need to start moving characters around, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, honestly, I feel like 3-2-1 is a really, really, really dumb idea.
I think 3-2-1 is a great mode, but it belongs in arcade.
Yeah, it would be a great arcade mode, but not for competitive or quick play.
If you're trying to put in the competitive, buff the healers. Like, make the healers good then.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to have to do. And then everyone's going to be complaining, oh, we can't do enough damage to kill everyone because the healers are too strong. Like,
it's always the DPS players that are complaining about certain things because it's like, if the DPS were so powerful that they could one-tap everything, the game would be unplayable.
Yeah, people are like, oh, well, why can't this just be like, what was it, Rainbow Six Siege, where if you shoot somebody in the head, they die instantly? It's like, that's not the point. Like, if you want to one-shot people in the head, go play Widow. Go play Hanzo.
Yeah, they literally have the capability of doing that.
I mean, you may not be able to one-shot a tank.
But that's the entire point. They're a tank. They're supposed to be able to take a lot of damage. It's like... Yeah, no, I feel like 3-2-1 just caters too much to the DPS player. It's gonna make it less fun for the tank players and the people that willingly play support, like me and Yanks, who already I try my damnedest to keep some people up, and I can't. I
personally, I don't like 3-2. Like, I like it, but I don't like it. I don't like it because I can't be a one-trick anymore. Because Reaper is unplayable, practically. I don't know if Poggy feels the same, but my skill level of Reaper, I can't play him. Like, I don't have that point where I can just turn and kill a tank. Or, like, lower a tank's health to gain a shit ton back.
Yeah.
And, like, certain other DPS I've tried playing, like, I tried playing Genji, but I just get melted too fast to do anything. Widow, I have Hanzo and another Widow shooting at me. Like, 3 DPS is a bit much for this game.
Yeah.
Because it makes so many of the DPS just not able to be played. Because, like, if you're running a comp where, let's say it's Tracer, Widow, and Reaper. Tracer and Reaper are going to be back flanking the other team, trying to get behind them and do damage. And, like, poke at them. Then you're just Widow by yourself. Let's say the other team has Ashe, Widow, and Tracer. Your DPS, well, 2 of those DPS are going to be targeting you because you're the Widow. Like, you're just going to get preoccupied by them. And your DPS are just going to get fucked by everyone else on the other team. Like, certain people you just can't play. Personally, from experience, but, of course, shit player, so.
Alright, well, with those rants out of the way, we're pushing on 3 hours now for this week's episode.
Wow. That's what, longest in the...
This is the longest so far. So, Gravesig, anything you guys want to add before we sign off?
Fucking Blizzard fix your game.
Fuck Blizzard.
Nerf Bastion.
Grave and Sig, you guys still there?
One of them left. Poggy's still in the party, though. It's just me, you, and Poggy in the party.
Oh, is it just me and you, Grave? Okay. Well, with that, I think it's time that we call it then. And thanks, everybody, for joining us, and thank you to our members that left a little bit early for coming on. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you guys again next time. We do have a couple games going on this weekend, which hopefully they should be
I might be participating in one.
So, keep an eye out for those. Also, keep an eye out for later on tonight with possibly doing some Jackbox with the podcast crew and some other people, which should be quite a bit of fun if we do it. And that would probably not be for a couple hours, though, if anything. So, thank you guys for coming, and we hope to see you guys again in the next one.